Welcome in, everybody. Just getting the last little bit of our canvas prep. We're going to do a cool scene down here, but no moon, right? No eclipse. Just going to do an awesome little sunset seascape. So I thought I'd show you guys what it might look like by the time we get done. Of course, they're never going to be exactly the same, right? That's never going to be cool if it's all the same. Why are we doing art if we're all going to paint the same thing, right? Maybe it's just me and I just can't paint the same painting twice. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. So, tell me where you're watching from, guys. What's your favorite sandwich? You can see on our 16 by 20 inch canvas, I'm going to show you exactly what we've done so far. Because I never like to hide anything. I show you every single bit. I try to tell you everything that I've ever learned, all in one painting. I try to tell you everything. So I talk a lot. If you don't like talking, this might not be the best live for you, right? Because we like to chit-chat, we like to say hello to the fans, we like to see where you guys are watching from, what's your favorite sandwich. We'll come back, we'll give some shout-outs, we'll ask questions, we'll answer questions. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I need to clean off the brush. I'm going to show you exactly what we've done. Get rid of all that paint thinner off of my brush, or odorless mineral spirits. I gotta start calling it the right thing. Like I say paint thinner or thinner because it's easier to say than odorless mineral spirits. How many syllables are in odorless mineral spirits? If you can give me the right answer, I'll give you a follow right now. Hang on, I gotta count. Okay, give me the number. You guys know how many syllables are in odorless mineral spirits? Right now, I'll give you a follow. Anybody know? Anybody know? Odorless mineral spirits. 8, Megan Glacier. There you go, Megan. You're getting a follow from Paint with Josh for knowing syllables, right? Very simple. I love answering questions, and for the answerer, right, the correct answer usually gets a follow from Paint with Josh if I'm allowed to touch you. You know what I mean? If I can touch the phone and it actually works. Sometimes it won't let me follow you for whatever reason, but we try to follow everybody that answers the questions. So... And what's cool is I've been making, you know, how I make my little TikTok videos. You guys have seen all the TikTok videos. Well, now I'm including the shout-outs in the TikTok videos. So sometimes they'll say, you know, oh, you know, at Dozic Creations for answering the third P of Paint with Josh, whatever. All right, let's go through all the, oh, you know what, I was going to tell you what we're going to do. So tell me where you're watching from. What's your favorite sandwich? Let me peek back here. Let's peek back, show you this Bob Ross Liquid Clear. That's what we're going to be using today. Right, looks a lot like this, guys, for YouTube and Facebook. Bob Ross Liquid Clear. Right, that's what we put on the black section of our canvas. Now, initially, you're wondering, how did we get the canvas to look like this, right? Well, we took our Liquitex black gesso. It's not just black acrylic paint. The gesso is different. It's much more watery and liquidy, so it spreads easier, dries a little bit faster. It's more evenly covered, right? So I took the black gesso, I covered the bottom, and then I just let it dry for, I don't know, 15 minutes. And then when it came time to paint this painting, we covered it in liquid clear, and then we took our Bob Ross liquid white and put that on the top. And you can see it's just the smallest bit of white that you need. Very, very, very thin coat. Very thin coat. Now, where are you guys watching from? We'll go through the colors. Look at all these colors. So gorgeous. Got a sub sandwich. Look at these ginormous just chunks. Chunks and chunks of paint. Here we go, guys. So you can see from left to right, we have our bright red, yellow ochre, Van Dyke brown, dark sienna, sap green, cadmium yellow, phthalo green, Prussian blue, alizarin crimson, midnight black, and titanium white, right? And we'll go through one more time for the TikTok guys. Bright red, yellow ochre, Van Dyke brown, dark sienna, sap green, cad yellow, phthalo green, Prussian blue, alizarin crimson, midnight black, titanium white, right here. Now, let's decide, you know, you want to see how I cover the canvas here first, just in case you have to leave, and we put the undercolors down, or should we do the sky first, and then we'll go back and do the water? You guys tell me what you want to see first. You guys tell me where you're watching from, tell me what you want to see. Titanium white. That's right, Cosmic Lighthouse. Oh, I love Cosmic Lighthouse. Let's see, I just followed you back on Instagram too, Cosmic Light. I didn't even know it was you. You know what I mean? You gotta have the same screen name across all the platforms, and then I'll know it's you. So let's do the sky first. It's gonna look really cool. Let's put this big old 2-inch brush down. We're gonna grab a little old 1-inch brush, right? And we're gonna use this really cool technique on how to paint a sunset. I've found that this is very easy. And hang on, we've got a bristle issue here. We've got a brissue. I'm gonna brissue over here. A bristle sticking out. So we're gonna take our brightest yellow. Not even gonna mix it with any other color. Just a super bright yellow. Just big and chunky on the brush. Don't even need that much paint. Wipe some of it off, right? Because what's the first P of Paint with Josh? Do you guys know? What's the first P? Because it's very helpful. It's the amount of what on the brush. First person I see gets a follow. Daniel, right there. I'm already following Daniel. So next person. Let's see, Sage and I don't even know how to say the name, but I gave you a follow because that's what we do around Paint with Josh. So you need a very expensive piece of equipment, and it's called a solo cup or a Dixie cup or any kind of round thing, right? A lot of times we use an old paint roll, right? If you got a roll of paint that you've done used all the paint off of, and you want to have a cool little thing, let's use the paint roll today. So we'll place it in like that. We'll bring it around, put our brush on the inside, and just try to leave a little white circle in the center, right? Maybe this one didn't make it into the center, but there's a little bit of white right there. We're going to take our brush, and I like to make this little eyeball shape, especially with the yellow. Right, we'll come down at this angle, not trying to get all of that. Don't want to cover up that bright yellow spot, right? And if you guys want to be zoomed in, let me know. If we're moving out, if we're too far away, or you want to come in when we're doing like the, this crashing wave, and you want to see it a little closer, make sure you comment, and we'll try to get it done for you. Just like that little teeny tiny white circle out here. Just about as big as my thumb, I guess, right? Smaller than the watch face, but bigger than the thumb. Now we need to come in here. I like big watches, guys. Big, fancy watches. That's my thing. That's my thing. Look at this. The red is so dry. Oh, here we go. Now we can get some red underneath that skin. There we go. People ask me all the time, how do you save your paint? Well, I just let the skin grow over it, and then we wipe it off and we use it. Let's add a little bit of red, but I want to leave a little white in between. You got to have that little bit of light color in between there, even if it's very small, because it'll help later on, right? And this isn't what the sky's going to look like, of course. We always go back and blend it out, so don't worry about it. Take a little bit of our yellow ochre with the red this time. And come over here, have it be a little bit different hue, a little different change, maybe a little more yellow ochre down in there. That yellow ochre is kind of like a brown yellow. It's a very cool color. Very cool color. Right? You can put it literally anywhere you want, but don't come down into our black section. We want to keep that nice. Keep it nice and dark for right now, right? Take some of our crimson, come in from the side. That crimson is a very, very, very dark red color. I'm sorry I have to get into your guys' way just a little bit, just so I can finish the edges, right? I like to finish the sides of my paintings and the top. We leave the bottom black on these ones down here. No reason to paint over it, right? But we like to finish the paintings on the edges because if you go to buy this painting, right, which is available in my store, paintwithjosh.etsy.com, and this is number 749. And boy, oh boy, I'm going to paint a lot today, guys. I already have 3 paintings in the store lined up. So we're going to do at least 3 paintings today. Probably more like 5 or 6. I'm trying to get a couple sales in the Etsy store. I got a few bills I need to pay. So with your guys' help, I'll trade you some really cool art, and you guys can help me pay my bills, right? That'll be cool. Got this brand new house. Well, it's not brand new, but it's a brand new house to me. And if I want to stay in it, I got to sell some art, right? So all of these pieces today are going to be $210. Every single piece that's a 16 by 20 anyway. It's going to be $210. And then we'll do the 18 by 20s, 18 by 24s, sorry. 18 by 24s, those will be $225. How about that? That's a wicked steal for these size paintings and this caliber of painting. And it's free worldwide shipping anywhere in the world that you live. We'll be able to ship it to you for free, tracking included, everything. So if you wanted to go over and buy one of these paintings, and I've got already ones that are already done. You won't even have to wait. I'll throw them in the mail. They're already dry right now, right? And take a little bit of our blue. But you can go find these paintings if you go to my Etsy store, which is paintwithjosh.etsy.com. Head over there, and this one, like I said, is number 749. They might have 750 already lined up. 751 is already lined up. I've taken them out of the store, and remember, they're 30% off right now. So that brings the price down to like $210 or $210.25, whatever the cost was on the end. I can't remember the change. But wicked steal for these. I'm normally selling these during the live shows. They sell for $299, $325, $350 sometimes for this size. So for $210 and free shipping across the world, that's a wicked deal. So go to paintwithjosh.etsy.com. I don't know why I did the 3 there. paintwithjosh.etsy.com. Go over there. Check it out. Now, we're going to wash off this brush because as we work through all of our dark colors on Saturday sessions, I forgot we were even doing Saturday sessions today. Welcome to Saturday sessions, guys. I'm Paint with Josh. I've been painting for about 4 years. It looks like I've been painting for about 4 days at this point, right? But we're actually been painting for about 4 years. And we've got 250,000 followers on YouTube, 250,000 followers on TikTok, 178,000 followers on, 180,000 followers on Instagram. My God, it's like I'm going to wake up from this dream at some point. I'm literally dreaming. Let's wash the brush right here. Right now, even though it just looked like I dumped the entire brush into the cup, right? My paint thinner's not all the way up here. My odorless mineral spirits, it's not all the way up here. That would be foolish. Mine's about down here. So even though it looks like it, I'm just dipping it in, and watch, we're gonna get real close to every camera and show you guys, just from dipping the 1/4 inch, how much of that liquid comes out, right? You don't want to soak your whole brush, that'd be bad. And the reason that I have it, down there is so I can pull the brush up, keep it inside the cup, spin it, and release some of that thinner into the cup. Then we shake it off into the trash can, put our old thinner down so we don't take a drink out of it, that'd be bad. And then we go into the beater bucket. I have the best beater bucket sound in painting, right? Listen to this. Just the best sound ever. It's a 5-gallon bucket with a trash bag, and then in the bottom is a golf ball basket. I'm sure you guys can go find one of these golf ball baskets at Walmart or Target or Big Five or wherever they sell sports stuff, right? Or you can probably go to a golf store. They probably have it over there, but I found that in my garage. I've been golfing since I was 5 years old. I'm 38 now. I just turned 38 on May 3rd. I was like 20 minutes away from being a May the 4th be with you, baby. That would have been so cool. Because I love Star Wars, right? But I've been golfing forever, and I've had all these different equipment and stuff, and I went out into my garage when I very first started painting. I'd already spent $300 on brushes and paint and canvases and all the prep stuff you need. Spent all that money, and then I was like, well, how am I going to clean the brush? I don't want to have to spend more money. I'll just go out in the garage and I'll find something. In the meantime, while I'm talking, let's come up here and start painting. All right, just very lightly, back and forth, crisscrossing, blending it, softening the paint. All right, so I went out into the garage, and I said, well, this looks like it'll work. I'll put it in a bucket, and then that'll keep the spray contained, right? And it won't spray all over the house, and then my wife won't be mad at me. I was married at the time. My wife won't be mad at me, and then I'll be able to paint, and maybe this will work. And then when I get good, and I'm a professional, hopefully in the future, now I am, right? My dreams came true. But I was like, when I get better, and I'll eventually, or maybe when I sell my first painting, then I'll buy the real brush cleaning bucket cleaner thingy. And 4 years later, I'm still using that same old nasty bucket. So, you don't have to go spend all this money, right? I'm a painter on a budget. I don't like to spend money. I'm a lazy painter and I'm a cheap painter. I don't like to spend all the money on all this stuff, so I try to show you guys cool little things, different little paintings that we can use with just a few colors. You don't have to use every color in the rainbow, right? No one ever said you had to use every single color. Even Bob Ross didn't use every single color in every single painting, right? Like today, we're probably not going to use the sap green, and that's about it. We're probably going to use every other color, but we won't use the sap green, right? And we didn't put every color on the palette. We don't have Indian yellow. We don't have all the other colors that Bob offers. So now that we've chit-chatted our way through all of the sky, and I probably won't be able to use any of that to make a reel from, I always got to remind myself not to talk too much, because then when I go to make the reels, I have to edit. Oh, by the way, did you guys see last night? I went live on TikTok last night at like 12:30 at night, and we just sat and edited videos. So you guys have already seen like the first 3 or the next 3 videos that are about to come out on TikTok. The people that were watching that live stream last night have already seen those videos. They've watched me put them together. They saw how I edited them with my CapCut app, right? I'm sure everybody on TikTok uses CapCut, but if you don't know, or if you're just trying to start filming your paintings, you want to be Paint with Josh and make all these tutorials, and you think people are gonna, you've got something special that you can teach, maybe I'm not mentioning, right, that you can mention, and you want to start doing your own videos, maybe I'll start doing my video editing live on TikTok, or maybe we'll go live on Facebook and edit, or something like that, you know what I mean? Just to show you guys that are out there trying to be the next Paint with Josh, be the next Bob Ross, right? Make your own videos, because it's fun. And if you like the sound of your own voice, and that's the big part too. Initially, I hated the sound of my own voice, and I was very quiet. I talked very softly, and I was very shy and timid, because I didn't want you to hear what I actually sounded like, right? And I even in the beginning, I wasn't even Paint with Josh. I was Happy Little Landscapes. Like I wasn't even confident enough to put my own name on my products, right? I was hiding behind this little pseudonym, this little screen name. And then when I went to Paint with Josh, and it became my face, it went from like a little logo to my face. I was like, oh goodness, that's daunting, right? So if you want to make the transition, you want to start doing tutorials and painting and doing all that stuff, you got to know how to edit videos. And I use CapCut. And so maybe if you guys want to see it, I'll show you, and I'll go live every so often and show you how we go through and edit all the videos. So I did it real late last night, We had like 7,000 people watch, and of course, I mean, you can't judge it off of that. Normally, I get about, I don't know, 50 to 150,000 people watch a TikTok show. So, all depends on how much you guys tap the screen, right? If you guys are tapping the screen, if I'm doing something cool and showing you something neat, then more people will come, and the more comments we have, more people will show up, right? So chit-chat back and forth with each other in the comments. If I don't ask you a question, just talk back and forth in the comments with each other. Make some new friends. I always know where you guys are watching from, and where I don't know. Let me do that again. Hang on. I always like to know where you guys are watching from and what's your favorite sandwich, and that way you guys can connect. Hey, I'm in Tennessee too, or I'm over here in Georgia. Where are you? Oh, I'm in the South Side. Oh, okay, we're over here. We're right down the street from each other. You guys are actually next door neighbors, and you're watching me together, right? Hey, Red Bull, sponsor me. I swear, I need this stuff to live. Oh, guys, by the way, the reason why we're doing 5 or 6 paintings today is, my God, I finally picked up my medication. I am back on Adderall, baby. And if you can't tell, we are rocking and rolling today. Just wicked. I've got so much energy, so many ideas. They're all flowing through my skull. Oh, it's going to be fantastic. So, let's come in now. We're going to add a little bit of cloudage. We're going to add some cloudage. You guys tell me where you're watching from. We're going to come back here. Who's excited that Josh is going to be painting so dang much today? We got Florida, Colorado, Arizona. Let's see. Don't drink this. We got New Mexico over here on Facebook. Please zoom in. All right, I'll get you guys zoomed in for the clouds. Here we go. Zooming in over on Facebook. If ye ask and ye shall receive. Should we zoom in on YouTube over here too? I hate the glare on YouTube. It's so bright. Remember, guys, on YouTube, give me a thumbs up. Let's see. Do you have ADHD? I've got a lot. I don't know what I have. I've got a lot of stuff. I can't seem to focus. And, you know, it's like I'll be doing 10 different things and do a little bit of all of them and then forget, oh crap, I need to make videos. I need to do all this other stuff. I'm so behind on editing videos that I'm still back to, I mentioned, it was funny, I was doing a video and I said, hey guys, we're up to 190,000 followers on Facebook. And I looked at myself and I was like, I'm at 251,000 right now. So that's how far behind I am in editing the videos. So when you start seeing, and you go, oh man, he's got 190,000, I'll go check him out. And then all of a sudden it's like 280. I didn't jump overnight. It's because I'm so far behind on editing. Should we throw a little sun in there? Josh is talking too much today. Okay. Chill out, Josh. Chill out. Here we go. Chill out. I'm going to show you guys how to make a cool little sun with a little filbert brush. Make a cool little thing. I love showing this little technique. And the bigger your filbert brush is, the bigger your sun's going to be. So I like these little mini filbert brushes. And this is a big one compared to the smallest ones in the pack, right? Jessie Lynn over on Facebook, she has a page called Jessie Lynn's Art. She sent me a pack of these. I like to write the names on the package of the people that send them because I get a lot and I always forget. I know Paul's sent me brushes. Melanie has sent me stuff. Melanie sent me a brand new easel I still have to put together. Would you guys want me to go live and watch me struggle to put this, professional easel together? Because that's going to be a good 2 to 3 hour live, I guarantee it. But these brushes right here, they're very cheap. You can find them in my Amazon store, amazon.com/shop/paintwithjosh, right? And if you type that into your little Safari browser, it will open up your Amazon app automatically on your phone, show you all the products that I like to use and that you can get, and then stuff that I have on my wish list, right? If you want to send me stuff off my wish list, I'd like to mention you and give you shout outs. So we're going to take our filbert brush. I forget how zoomed in we are. I have to come back here and look. Okay, so we got to be here for Facebook. Yeah, we got to be about right there, Josh. Don't move. Right there. Okay. And take our filbert brush just like this, just on the one side of the brush, right? And that way, you don't have too much paint. And then we're going to pop it right up here. Pop it into our brightest point, and then start to spin the brush. And I'm going to try to stay out of your guys' way and just rotate it around, pushing it flat, watching those bristles spread out, right? And get all that little bit of circle back in there. And then the more you mix, the more it'll blend in with the yellow, the more it'll expand, and you get this little white sun out there. It's gorgeous. Just fantastic, right? You don't have to get your finger dirty. Very simply and easily done. The brush does it for us, right? Like I said, I'm a very lazy painter, so I like to find ways to make the brushes work for us, right? We don't have to do it if the brush does it for us. I'm gonna come up here. I'm gonna try to get into your guys' way, let everybody see, right? This is what's happening. The brush comes in and it flattens out and starts to spin and rotate into those little, if I could keep it in the center, right? Rotate into a little circle. I mean, that's not a circle, but you know what I mean. I'm trying to show you on my hands. People ask me all the time. They go, "Why do you wear gloves?" This. I'm trying to show you cool little things up close, right? So, let's get rid of that. And we're gonna come up here. Now we can make some gorgeous clouds, right? So we've taken our brush, we've loaded the brush right in here. And I never went to art school, so I don't know what this piece is called, but don't load it all the way up to this piece, right? The squeezy bit, that's what I call it. Because it squeezes all the bristles into the brush, right? So who's taking it so seriously though? Come on. The squeezy bit, that's what I like. That's what they should have named it. I blame like Da Vinci or whoever named this piece right here, that they should have called it the squeezy bit. So we're gonna come up here, we're gonna take that brush, and we're just gonna write in cursive, just like the language that the kids don't know, right? Take it like that, knock the cameras over, maybe just around our little sky, twisting the brush. Look at how much, just look at how much that brush got dirty, right? Just from touching it the smallest little bit. So as we're pushing, we're rotating, we're spinning the brush, we're getting it on the other side, we're coming over here, we're pushing it up, trying to get all, look at it, spinning it, rotating, twisting the brush, trying to get as much paint of it to come off as the brush as possible, right? Now it's all pink and orange, all that stuff. And you're like, again, why have I been sitting here listening to this dude just go 100 miles an hour on Adderall while he makes a cloud look like that? Come on. Now, just give me a chance, right? You can see what the clouds look like down here. At least the people on TikTok can. And we're going to come in, we're going to start to mix so softly, so softly. Man, it's been like 2 months since I've had any medication. They've been out of stock. And boy, I feel good this morning, guys. Woo! Right? Okay, a little bit of white just in there like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come back in here, snag up more white, and as our clouds started to dissipate and get softer and mix more in with that color, that's when we're going to pop in our next little bit, right? It goes from bright to dark, back to bright. So you have bright into the darkness, poof, into the brightness, and then we're going to drag that guy back as well. Same little brush, nothing crazy. Right, start to very softly mix with our what, right? We have no paint on the brush, so what's the second P that we're talking about, guys? You guys know the second P? I'm going to give a shout out to whoever knows it. Who knows the second P? Got to come back here. I got to put the palette down because the phone goes crazy. Pressure, right there. D-A-R. Doreen, you're getting the follow. She's got 27 followers now. And the world famous Paint with Josh is one of those 27 followers because she knows pressure, right? Take a screenshot of that. Send it to your friends. Oh my God, guys, Paint with Josh just followed me. I've got 27 followers, and one of them is Paint with Josh. I can't believe it. Oh my goodness, right? So cool. Watch me take this just like a sequin pillow. Take this darkness, start to slide it underneath at little straight angles, and then we can make little flat bottoms to the clouds. We can separate them. We can take this and mix it in out here, dragging some of that pink coming out into our sky. That looks very cool, right? Just like that. Very neat. Very neat. The coolest, easiest little things we can do with the right amount of the third P, right? We can do very neat little things with any little brush if we've had enough of our third P. So what's the third P? As I gotta rush and set the phone down and come back here, try to get the first person. Juanita Rios, you I saw right there. Oh crap, where's it at? Here we go. Man, you're getting a follow. She's got 253 followers now because Paint with Josh followed you, right? Excellent. Please zoom in. I am zoomed in about as far as we can. Oh, that was an old comment. There we go. Practice. We got Lori. We got, let's see, Greg Jeannie Hollis over here. T. Simmons over on Facebook. We got Julianne Rios, Daniel. Everybody over on TikTok knows this stuff. Corey, right? Hey, Corey, right there. I wanted to say, do you follow me on any other platforms, Corey? Because I recognize your oh, I've already made you a moderator, right? Yeah, you're already a mod. I recognize you from your profile on a different platform, but I didn't know if it was you or not. I was like, oh, I wonder if that's the Corey that's my TikTok moderator. So, if it is, and remember guys, all you guys on TikTok, if the moderators get power trips, I will remove them, right? So if you think that you got muted, I always tell my mods, don't mute people unless they're just spamming the comments, right? Don't even mute them for 5 seconds. I want comments. The comments open the door. It gets us more viewers. Right? So even if it's a bad, if it's a terrible comment, get rid of them, kick them out of the live, right? But the comments are like, oh, what do you think you're Bob Ross? You think you're cool, blah, blah, blah. Leave all those comments. I don't see them anyway, right? You guys get to read the terrible comments, not me. That's why I remain in a good mood, because I don't have to see all that crap. I'm up here in front of the screen, not up in front of the camera, not back behind the screen, right? Very light pressure. So, again, all the viewers, if the mods feel like they're power tripping, and I start getting messages that are like, oh, your mod kicked me out of your live, or they did this because I asked a question. All I wanted to know was where to buy your paintings from, and they muted me. Ugh, those things get so annoying, okay? So don't make me do that. The mods are just there to answer a few questions for me, right? Like where to go to find my stores, find my links. They can answer questions about where to go, you know, get my Amazon products at amazon.com/shop/paintwithjosh, right? All the different places we can go. And look at just with the amount of pressure, just like that. Oh, goodness, guys. You can mix all that white down into these little soft little things. Take our 2-inch brush, nice and dry, from the top to the bottom. Don't touch our moon or our sun. And I know I'm going from the bottom to the top. It's my dyslexia that kicks in. Just like that, sideways. Don't touch the sun. Bam. Get this soft little color-filled sky out there. Wicked neat. And when I really love a sky, I tend to add my ex-mother-in-law into it. And only, well, I shouldn't say ex, my late mother-in-law, right? She was taken from us by a doctor, and we really miss her, and I think about her all the time. And when I do, and I do a really pretty sky, I tend to add just a little contrail out into it just for her. And it reminds me in London that she's still out there watching over us. And if I talk too much about it, I'm going to start to cry. And I don't want to cry on a Saturday morning, not on the first painting of the day. Let's cry on the last painting of the day. There we go. Just pulling it sideways, drifting it out. You can make it as long as you want, as soft as you want. I like to have it a little curl, right? It shows the arc of the atmosphere, because we live on a globe, not a flat earth. Let's not have that conversation, right? There we go. Just coming out just like that. Wicked neat. Love it. All right, now we're going to add our dark colors for our undercolor for our ocean, right? Now, whatever you choose as your color, that's going to shine through when we hit it with our white paint. So let's come in here, try to get all these little chunks of skin off of the palette here. Josh paints too much. There we go. Right in here with the green. I don't want to add too much, right? I want to have a little bit of color back in here, right up against our little horizon. Not too much, so maybe like one little brush stroke swipe. And that's it. Blending it across, dragging it, letting it get softer and softer and softer, all with our pressure, right? It's going to stay very dark. It's not supposed to be bright green. And we're going to come in and add our colors to it, right? Now, let's get rid of all the green off of this brush, because we don't want them to mix together. All right, so we'll clean off the green, and we'll get another one, and we'll come back with a different color. So again, tell me where you're watching from. What's your favorite sandwich? People ask me all the time, how do you do the undercolor part? How do you prep the canvas, right? Sometimes we do it in the middle of a painting. Sometimes we do it at the beginning of a painting. Let's see here. I want to take a little more blue. I'm going to put a little blue back in here. Maybe we'll have like a crimson-y eye. Now, in between these colors, you can see I'm going to leave a little dark disconnect, a little black line back there. And that's going to help me decide where my wave needs to feed. That's the shadow of the water back there and feeding up into our wave. See this dark separator right here, guys on TikTok that can see all the way down there? Everybody up on Facebook and YouTube are like, what are you talking about? Right? The black line that we're talking about right here is this dark separation, right? That dark separator that we have to keep nice and dark. That's our little lip of our water that's coming in, right? So if you don't cover it, then it may, oh, can I put this back up here? If you don't cover it, it makes it very easy. Remember, guys, you can go over and buy this painting. I just reduced the price. We've got all sorts of stuff that's already dry and ready to go. We've got a little purple seascape, the same kind of action, right? A little bit different coloring. All sorts of things. We just did this big green one last night, live on TikTok. Big old giant canvas. You cover up most of it to see, right? Big old giant waterfall, bunch of flowers hanging off. I have all these in the store. They're there, they're waiting, they're 30% off. And I just reduced the prices of a lot of them. And today, we're doing $210 and $225 for both of these sizes. I'm going to do as many as I possibly can today. So, head over to paintwithjosh.etsy.com. Literally help me pay the bills. And my daughter's always asking for new shoes or new something. Dad, I need a yearbook. Dad, we got to sign up for that. Like the new school's coming up, you know what I mean? We got to get this, we got to get that. And I'm like, oh, we got to pay rent too. So, guys, go over to paintwithjosh.etsy.com and help me out, right? Now I'm going to take a little bit on a different brush. Let's use a smaller brush. And wherever we want our eye, let's take our little bit of crimson, right, come in here, mix it in with that blue. We'll even go right up in there. That's where I want my eye. Nothing too crazy, right? It looks kind of strange compared to the way that we have everything set out right now. But I don't want it to grow too far, so we're not going to use too much of the first P, right? Too much of this on the brush is bad. Does anybody know the first P? I'll give you a shout out, give you a follow. Let's see, let's see. Do we see it? I don't see anybody yet. Paint, Serena, you're getting the follow. Selena, there you go. You're getting the follow. Right? The amount of paint on the brush, that's right. The amount of paint that we put up there, because we're going to go over it with white, and it's going to be even brighter and brighter and brighter. Now, I want to take more of our crimson color, right, just down in here. I love having like a purpley face of the wave. So again, leave a little dark separator just to tell us like where the lip of the wave is going to come down. You're going to have these little shadows everywhere, right? So we'll put our crimson in here. Ooh, that's very bright. So like white mixed in with this crimson, it's crazy. There we go, bringing it up underneath so it's not too bright, right? You gotta keep it nice and dark, different everywhere. And then I'm gonna come over it with a little bit of blue just to change it into this purpley. Oh yeah, this little purple color. Ooh, that's gonna be pretty. That's gonna be pretty right there. And that's as our wave rolls up. We're gonna have all this purple foam, we're gonna have a blue top. This is how you set it out in your mind, right? Maybe we'll come over here, just in case we have any little foam, any little sandy action that's gonna wanna turn purple. Right now we're gonna take our other brush. It's already got the blue on it, and we might as well go through our brown colors. While it's got the blue, it's gonna be all dark anyway. So grab both of the browns, pulling them in just like this. Get it nice and full, right? Actually, you don't wanna have too much, so wipe the brush off. Do both sides. Bam, look at how much paint just came off of the brush, because we don't wanna have too much. There we go. Again, little dark separation line, and leave the corners dark. So don't put too much of the brown down there. You don't have to use a lot of the brown. We want to keep it very dark down here in the corner. Very dark, like no paint at all down there. And that way, whatever we slide down will be very, very, very dark. The sunset, it just doesn't reach all the way down to the bottom of my corners. I just can't make it reach down that far. Right up here, we'll put a little bit of brown just in case. And then we'll add in a few little mountains, and then we'll get to our water, right? You want to see some far off, like little volcano-style mountains back in there? Something that is an extinct volcano. It's not erupting right now, because we already did an erupting volcano one. We got a tutorial for that already, right? I don't want to do the same thing over and over again, but let me tell you. Let me see, guys. Do you want to see some little tropically mountains off there, or should we just get to the water right away and just throw it in? Let me know in the comments, guys. Let me know in the comments. Make sure if you're watching over on YouTube, give me a thumbs up. Let's see. We got Cheeseburger from Daleville, Wisconsin, Arkansas. Got Erin Kenny over there. She knows all the P's. Right? All right, people are saying mountains. Let's do some far off little mountains then. And a lot of people, do you know what this is called? Does anybody know what this tool is called right here? There's two different sizes that I use. And there's all sorts of different shapes of this tool, right? I like this shape and this style. Right? Does anybody know what it's called? Just in the comments, can you just tell me? What's this thing called? Anybody? Anybody know? Palette knife, that's right. Well, paint knife. Somebody, Cosmic Lighthouse said a paint knife. I call it a palette knife, and there's all sorts of different palette knives that I can use. Right? But people are afraid of these. They don't know how to use it. It's hard to get the right amount of texture and little differences and stuff, right? So let's put these away. And instead, we're going to use a fan brush, just like this, right? Everybody knows what a fan brush looks like. These things are very easy. You can make messy stuff. You can make little, you can chisel it down into a little axe blade. You can do all sorts of things. So I'm going to take a little of my black on the brush, a little bit, not a whole lot. Then I'm going to come over here into the darker browns and really fill it up, right? Just mixing it in so it stays deep and dark. Gotta have a dark color when we come out here, just like this. And then, who knows, maybe there's this little far off guy popped up into the clouds. He's going off that way. Just literally doing the same thing we do with the clouds, right? And kind of writing in cursive. That's all you need. So you got these little peaky things everywhere. And he comes out, it just goes further and further and further down. And let it blend down all the way out, right? Make sure we get it dark back here, so leave a little extra paint, right? So then we have to hit it with less pressure in order for it to stay dark. And then we can brighten it up. And again, there's a little floating mountain back there because we're gonna push it out with our brush, right? So maybe over here on the side, we had another one of those little guys. Same thing, a little bit of black, a little bit of our two browns. And this guy might be further away, just in case we wanna pop in a giant rock in the front, right? So we have all of our water, so we can actually connect both of these guys. We'll come in right in cursive again, staying real low to the horizon though. Maybe pop up over there, these far off little things, and then all depends on how we pull with our brush, right? This guy's gonna slope down, we have that guy sloping this way. So these guys, they're going to slope down this way. And of course, you have to have a little bit off the back, right? Pulling down in a different direction. And then we'll just go highlight these guys. We'll have some really cool little mountains, right? You don't have to use your 1-inch brush. If you're good enough with your amount of pressure, you can slide down and blend it down into the water with your fan brush even, right? Then good on you. All depends on our angles though. Watch this. We come up to the angle. We're going this way. Turn the brush the other way and decide maybe we want a little ridge down in there. Because we pulled it a different direction, you get those little ridges in there and they're very cool. Come up and soften this bit of paint because we don't need it so super thick out here on the edge, right? Don't need it all kind of crazy out there on the edge. You pop up another little peak. This guy just wants to be peaky right here. Just wants to be a little hill, just like that, right? All depends on what you want yours to look like. Doesn't have to look like mine. And since we're doing it all with the fan brush, let's just fill it in like this. Bring it down. Don't want to cover up too much of my backwater back there, right? Don't want to have too much paint really up here because I want to have my wave's going to come up above our water horizon anyway and into those mountains. So let's remember that and not put too much paint down there. But just like that, in a few minutes, you get your far off little tropically mountains, and they can be far away, not a lot of detail, right? Amazing already. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So, very simple, guys. Very simple. Now, if you needed to, in your areas where you thought it might have been a little bit too thick, you can take it with the same rotations, though, the same downward strokes, right? Start to brighten it up, or soften it down, and take a little bit of our white and a little bit of our brown, and that'll be our little highlight color, right? So we can come in where our sun was and just add that little bit of brightness, maybe on the side over here, leaving a little shadow behind him though, right? Gotta have a little shadow back there. A little bit of sun took over on all these little hills, right? Our little white, come down on this side, just brightening up the smallest bit. Doesn't have to be the same even. You don't want them all the same for sure. At least I don't. Want a little ridge down that way, get this cool little bit of light got caught right there, right? And maybe, I don't like it to be so perfect. I'll add a little imperfection into it. A little bit of imperfection, yes, right there, perfect. Over here, you know, a little bit of that started to come off the side. These little flat areas of our mountain starts to come down. We decide where we want it to be bright, right? And like that, very soft, very simple. A couple little mountains way off in the distance. Take these guys just so lightly, pull them off over there. Or take it with the amount of pressure, right? We can decide, or pulling back from our sky, blending it in, taking a little bit of mixing, right? We decide where we want that mountain to live and what is the sky. All up to us, right? And that's the best part. Now, since we're going to come in and do our big wave, it's got a lot of detail. Do you guys on TikTok want to be zoomed in? All right, do you guys want to come in a little bit? Remember, this painting is for sale over on Etsy, paintwithjosh.etsy.com. Let's come in like this. All right, just like that. Now we'll have a full view of the wave. And that'll be cool. Everybody over here on YouTube, and guys, hit that thumbs up button right underneath the video on YouTube where there's a little thumbs up. Click that. It helps push the video out to more people. It really helps me out. Now let's take this brush. We're going to wash it off. YouTube's like my smallest audience. They got 14,000 subs over there. And everyone comments and they go, oh, you're so underrated. How come you don't have more followers? I'm like, well, go over to Facebook or go over to TikTok and check out my feed over there because I've got 250,000 on each. On each. So eventually YouTube will catch on, right? And we put out the same videos, and each video does differently on each platform, which is strange, right? Some video that does really good on TikTok that gets 4 million views on TikTok only gets 5,000 views over on YouTube, right? Or the video that got, what was it? It got like 3,000 views on TikTok, got 8 million views on Instagram. It's just crazy. You just never know what's going to happen. So just keep putting out, guys, especially you guys that are making your own content and making your own videos, right? Just keep putting it out. Eventually, one of those is going to take off, and poof, you're going to be right here where Paint with Josh is, right? And we're going to take this, come into our white. This is such a big brush. Let's save this brush for later. I don't want all that big old brush, especially if we're working in a little tiny little area, like way back there, right? So we'll take a smaller brush, same brand, GAC Doctor. This is a size 10 versus a size 14, and we just grab. And this one's a little bit older, so it's got a few bristles missing. Helps make it. It's like a size 8.5. It's not an 8. It's not a 10. It's like an 8.5. We come back here with that, right? And just with a very small amount. This is a fair amount of paint on a black canvas or a dark canvas that'll show very brightly, right? So with a very small amount of what, guys? Our second P, right? We can start to come in. You guys say it. I'm going to stop right now. Come back and check who's got the second P. Second P of Paint with Josh. Corey's got it. I already follow you. Daniel, I already follow you. Selena, follow you. Let's see. Dill Roop Tour, you're getting to follow for knowing pressure, right? Maybe we got to come out just a little bit so we can see. Haha. Perfect, guys. Okay. With the right amount of pressure, you're right. You can decide how far and how much of this paint comes off of the brush and onto our canvas. And just so lightly, so softly, leaving little dark streaks in between. Those are our waves. That's the water action that's happening back there. Right? Don't have to be too bright. They're a little dark. And just like that, we got our far off little bit of water. It's coming in. We're going to take a soft, 1-inch brush, nice, clean, dry 1-inch brush. Very softly start pushing it, right? And where we have those bright areas and the dark areas, it's going to look like lulls and high points in the water. You don't want to push it so much that you blend it all the same, right? And then what was the point? Leave that little dark line, that little dark separator in between our colors, right? Looks like a little shadow, very deep and dark back there. That's cool. Now, what if we came back, and I know I said I wasn't going to use the palette knife, right? But this is an easy thing to do with the palette knife. We're just going to take this, right, get a little bit of it on the edge, and out here on the brightest area, just throw a little line off there, right? Take this guy, stay around the brightness. If you got to curl it a little bit, that's fine. The water's moving out there. It's not always straight. Right on top of our bright areas, right over the dark area. Maybe there's one right underneath. Right? You can mush your knife on, changing little things and make little waves out there, right? This guy looks kind of cool too. If we just mush it on with no paint, just the smallest little thing, it's almost like it's got another crashing wave coming in back there. Real far away, right? Now remember, we've got our dark separator right in here that we have to keep dark. And I understand it might look dark across the entire canvas because we're using a lot of dark undercolors, but there's no paint right underneath there. So as I come down, gotta be careful, right? Let's see, if we want the thing to come back, let's put our peak right here, which means we're gonna make a little mustache, just a little mustache, gonna come down, and up, and down. Just like that, right? That's all you really need. Feed this guy back, because all it is some back detail. Little waves, a little bit of water as it's going back there. Just pulling directly sideways, right? Don't wanna pull it too much in any other direction, because it's gonna look like your water's doing two different things, right? Got our peak here, you use a clean part of the knife and slide it back until we get to that dark area. Right? If we get into that dark area and keep going back, it's gonna look like a shadow underneath, very far away, right? That's all we need. Very bit of far away water, just like that. Let's take this guy, pull him off to the side, fill in wherever we wanna fill in. Just like that, this far away little bit of water coming in, right? Nothing crazy, nothing too hard to do. Taking our brush, softening it, pushing it back, softening our water line back there. Everything becomes nice and gentle. There we go. Now remember, underneath here we gotta try to keep it dark. And you can even see there's no paint right here. There's a little bit of the clear color, but we didn't touch it with the blue yet. Very cool. Remember guys, tell me where you're watching from, what's your favorite sandwich, and don't be worried about a seascape, right? We don't even have to paint a lot of it. You don't have to paint the whole bit of ocean. You don't have to do a whole lot of things. So, where are you guys watching from? Let's do a little check-in here. Everybody's checking in. It's fantastic. Oh my God, thank you. You just wait, Nayeli. You just wait until you see. Let's see. What's my favorite sandwich? My favorite sandwich is a spicy Italian. And if you've been a fan long enough, you should know. Ohio, Atlanta, Georgia, Utah, Florida, Buffalo, chicken, hot pepperoni. Vegas, baby. Oh, where are you at? I love my Vegas followers. I gotta follow you. Send me a message. I love people in Vegas. I barely have any followers that live in Vegas, right? So every time I see Vegas, we gotta connect. We gotta connect. Let's see, Las Vegas, Lisa Marie. No, you don't, Lisa Marie. You live in Las Vegas? Where'd it go? Now I forgot. I can't see. There we go. Lisa Marie, you're getting a follow. Maybe she does. Maybe she's just saying Las Vegas. Just, I'll follow you if you live in Las Vegas, right? There we go. Where am I? I'm in Las Vegas. So, let's see. We're going to come over here, guys. We all know about the paint, the pressure, the practice, and this is the fun part. We're going to load up our brush, just like that. A little bit of white, and we have to decide. We have our eye of our wave right here, so we know where we're going. Right? We're going to come up like this. We're going to go over it, just like that. But we're not going to grab from right here and pull over directly through the eye. Firstly, we're going to take our brush and even start tapping it in, make your water look a little like it's kind of tumultuous right here. And then we're going to start coming down, just like that, into that next dark separator. So now we have all this blue color and darkened shadows that we can slide back, right? Come in with our brush, just start with the angle, go back to that last little bit of color, right? Starting from our line down here and sliding it back. And as you can see, that super brightness with the deep darkness and this little bit of faded color as it's going up makes it look like a shadow. Now when you come up to your point, I like coming out a little bit further, right? Letting it go out a little further, then coming back up. Almost like the point is creating a bigger shadow across the water down here, right? It all depends on what we want it to look like. As we get over to the side, you go more and more like a clock. Over to 3 o'clock, right? We're starting up here, we were at like 1:30, and as we're going, the swipes started going more until they ended up being over here. All about the angles, right? We talk about the paint, the pressure, the practice. Angle is most important as well, guys. There we go, very lightly. Now, if you wanted to brighten it up with anything, because as we can see, all the white color has been replaced with blue at the tips. And that's no good. Nobody wants blue tips. At least, I don't know, you might have blue tips in your hair, and if so, you probably look gorgeous. You probably look gorgeous. All right, but I want to brighten it up a little bit, and sometimes it looks very cool if you add just a little bit of yellow. Take a little bit of our white, a little bit of yellow, you get this very bright little sun streaks on our water. And not every single place, but just, maybe we'll skip a few, we'll come down here, and then we'll go back and soften them down. Right? You get these little differences on our water, those same angles though, following it over. Right? That way you get these little bright areas, little dark areas. Maybe this yellow is a little bit of the foam that's rotating and catching and rolling over. Right? Different little things. Make our line very soft again. Just a couple things. This is all you really need. All right, we're going to dab off our old brush, come back in here, and again, very light pressure because the paint's going to want to slide even closer to that dark separator. We don't want that to happen. Right? We don't want the colors to touch. Got to keep that little dark line. As small as it is, you have to keep it. If you don't keep it, you're going to miss it. You really are. You're going to be like, Josh, I didn't listen to you, and I didn't keep the dark separator. Even back in there, teeniest, tiniest little dark separator, right? And you know, we didn't even come up as high with our wave as I wanted to come up. I wanted to come up much higher with this wave. So let's see if we can still incorporate that, pushing it back up into the horizon. There we go, right? Again, we're going to come into here. We're going to take this guy, just start to come down. However you think it's going to happen, let it fall down, but not all the way, right? Don't need it to rotate too much and come down and land on itself. That would be bad. Right? You're going to come up into there, slide it back, it pushes everything off into the distance, right? Now let's take the brush, we're going to rotate, leaving this little dark separator. We're going to hit right here, start coming off this way. Very light, very light. The higher you go up, the more your wave's going to look nuts, right? Keep our line like this. And that little V down in there with that darkness, that's going to help it push the line back there. And then the more and more we go over, the more little drags, and turning the brush on the side, leaving our little fingers, right? And have our little fingers, little finger action over here. We rotate, it's like a little ball. We got to remember, there's a ball down here. We're going to come down, and it's going to crash. We got all that spray on the top. Very cool. Very cool. Got a little bristle hanging out, trying to make me make a mistake. There we go. Change it over, rotate it down. Got to save that little bit of darkness back in there. Just like that. Guys, look at it change from the lighter into the phthalo green color as we come in here. And we can even go, maybe let's make it a little darker. We'll add just a little bit of blue. Right, see what it looks like. Small little things, especially down here. The blue as it changes, right? Leave that white area on the top. It's darker and darker. I don't want to have all the swipes be the same length, so just like that. Wicked, just big old crasher coming in. Just a giant old crasher coming down, right? And then we'll even take a little bit of white and add that to the top. Just rotate around. Remember, there's that little round ball in there that you got to get around. Got to get around that ball. And we'll take a little bit of yellow, just blast it right on the tip top of the waves right here. Get a little sun-kissed action. Same drag marks though. Don't let the yellow go too far. You don't want to have it take over our whole bit. Right? Just like that. A little bit on this guy. Tapping it in and then very lightly dragging it over. Just so we have that little bit of just brightness. Changes our water, changes everything about it. And it'll make your eye look over here too when we're done with it, right? Very cool. Not trying to make it all the same. Just have that little bit of light color right on the top. Very neat. Now we need to get a lot of dark color and eventually make our foam. So let's save this dirty brush and then we'll end up filling it up with darkness, right? I'm going to dab off as much of the yellow as I can. We don't have to really wash it. We can just dab it off on a paper towel and fill it up later. All right, I'm a lazy old painter. I don't like to wash the brush too much. And this wave is just literally going to come off into your living room when you hang it up, or your bathroom, wherever you put it. It's literally going to come off, and you're going to be watching water droplets drip off of it onto your floor. I'm sorry. It comes with a little bit of cleanup action, right? Because the wave is just literally going to, you're going to hear it in your sleep, this wave crashing. Oh, it's going to be fantastic, right? Now, let's take our brightness. We saved that little bright purpley area right underneath here. But what do we have to save? We always talk about it. The dark what? What does Josh call it, right? I'm not an art, I didn't go to art school, so I don't know what it is. But I call it a dark what? I'll give you a shout out if you know. A dark shadow. No. Somebody's typing in Sade already. That's not how you spell Sade. Dark separator, cosmic lighthouse. That's my girl. Carrie, let's see. Carrie, I might not follow you. Carrie Neal. No, I already followed Carrie. Let's see. The separator. Paint with, who's this? Paint with Mambo. Paint with Mambo's got 22 followers. He's got 23 now. Because now you know that dark separator, right? You got to keep the darkness. So even though it might be the tiniest amount of darkness, we can't allow the light to touch itself. Oh, I just touched the canvas right there. Little teeny tiny. I've been looking at my waves, and the eye of my wave is becoming very large, right? So I'm going to try to keep this guy bright but small. And based on the amount of paint that we put in there and the amount of what? What are we talking about, right? The amount of, let's come back for one more follow before we do this thing. The amount of pressure, that's right, creative creation. You're getting a follow from Paint with Josh for knowing the amount of pressure. That's it, right? We're going to take our brush over here. Let's first get rid of the little, there we go. It's got like a little, now it looks kind of funny. Now that I see it, I have to fix this little bit, right? And we can even fix it just by adding a bit of darkness right underneath it. And a little bit of shadow back in there. Very cool. Even have a little bit more of our dark back in here. Somebody remind me to adjust the shadow when we go back to fix it. Ah, it looks good right there. Okay, now, just based off that little teeny tiny amount of paint and our pressure, right, we're going to decide how close we can get to that little dark separator line, right? And then how soft can we make it with our pressure in here? How soft? I want to keep the top light, and then we're going to work down. Less pressure. Don't want to have the eye be very big on this one. My eyes have been getting very big, and they're starting to take up more of the wave than I think would actually happen. So now why don't we come in right here, and a little bit more of that white. Dab it in, right, just on our brush. And that way we get that little extra bright section. Come in, just start mixing it very lightly. As it flows off to the side, right? Don't have to have it be crazy. Now what do? We kept our dark separation line in between there. And we ended up lighting up the wave a little bit, right? Don't want to have it go down too far. You can even start to imagine where you're going to come down and line up with your bit of wave as it's coming down. Right? Keep that rotation though. Got to keep that rotation. Remember, the wave is a rotating, moving thing. So don't let it get too nuts. Don't lose your dark separator in there. We won't even have to go back and put this one in. It already looks like it's just crashing over. Just rounded beyond belief. This is a beyond belief kind of painting, right? A little bit more of our white right over the edge here just to help soften this guy. Oh, so cool. Now, I'm going to take my white over here onto the brush. We really sort of need to make our line a little brighter. So I'm going to load it up, chiseling it down, and then come in here, we're going to start to tap like I told you. Don't go over that dark separator though. Keep it. Now we're going to use the brush and make this little line just a little brighter. There we go. Don't even have to go all the way to the side because we're not going to use it all the way to the edge, right? A couple little flicks in that same rotation. They have to be matching up with the lines beneath it, right? Can't be going all of a sudden a different way. And have them look more round, put maybe a little bit more out to the side. It'll all blend in when we come back to hit it with the brush, right? And that's the thing. Leaving that little darker shadow up there. It looks so cool already, guys. Oh, I love this one. I love this one. Sometimes you get to a point where you're like, ooh, I'm not really sure about this painting. I'm going to have to fix it and work at it until I like it. And then sometimes you just blast out a fantastic one just right off the bat and not even have to worry. And I'm sorry if I'm proud of my work and excited about it. Like somebody said, oh, he's so conceited. He always says they're fantastic and they're gorgeous. Like, how can you be so conceited? I was like, what do you want me to say? Come buy this crap painting? You know what I mean? Like, I have to say, it's not even that I have to. Like, I'm very proud of my work, right? and I work at it a lot. I do a lot of live shows. We do a lot of editing. We do a lot of painting. And then just to come in and be crapped on by people that have only watched 1 minute worth of my content and decided to come in and judge me off that 1 minute. That's the part where I go, why do I do this? Why do I put myself through this right here? Dealing with this guy, right? There we go. A little bit of our white, just cutting it in, dropping it over that yellow, just so we have those little differences in colors. So cool. All right, now we're gonna come in. Here's one of my most favorite parts, is making our little, kind of setting the wave onto the ground, making our foam, making our rotation, telling us what the wave's gonna look like. And we all know if we went right here and we just shot up a 45-degree angle like that, it's gonna look like our water is a ramp, and Evel Knievel's gonna come in here with his floating motorcycle and jump off of it, right? That's not what we wanna do. We're gonna come into our white, kind of stay away from that yellowy green, because we don't need it to be yellow, we want it to be pure white. And that way it's gonna mix in with all this crimsony purple and blue that we put underneath there, right? So we can decide, maybe our thing came down, and you know what, let's do the foam first. I'm always just rushing ahead and forgetting what we're doing. We're gonna mix up our dark color, right? We don't need to go too much dark separator underneath the wave back in here, because we've kept that. It looks really nice as it's rolling over, right? But we have to have a dark separation in between any bit of color. So let's come up in here, start smacking up into it, right? Just like that. We get our rotating bit of water coming down. Now, remember not to rotate too far down in here. You don't need that. I like to overdo it and show you guys the angle, you know what I mean? But you don't need to have too much rotation. You don't want to have too much brightness. And you want to have this S-shaped curve. Have you ever heard me talk about the S-shaped curve? If you haven't, it's your lucky day. You guys want to hear about the S-shaped curve and why my seascapes look so amazing, right? Or terrible if you're this other guy and I'm supposed to say they look bad. Look at how much we beat the crap out of these brushes. And all this stuff coming out. Have you guys either heard of or want to hear about the S-shaped curve? Do I have any people that really want to get better at their seascapes? Painting doesn't have to be fine with everybody, it just has to be fine with you. That's 100% correct. 100%. Let's see, is the painting on the bottom sold? I don't think so. That one's still available. That one is the 18 by 24 inch. I think it's called Total Eclipse of the Art. And there looks like to be a little bristle here. Ha! Stuck to it. There we go. So Total Eclipse of the Art. This one is number, just real quickly, number 737. So, 737, it's nice and dry, it's ready to ship, right? Gorgeous, even touch. I always try to touch the most thick, wettest part of the water, and if that bit's dry, then you know it's ready to go. If I were to touch it up here, then we know it's too wet to go, right? So let's come in just real quickly at our little bit of dark separator. You can see the wave was looking kind of funky, right? It looked like there was too much water until you come in with this darkness, and then you can shape it. Right, so I'm going to ask you again, because I didn't get a chance to look at the comments. I saw something I had to come in and change or show you. Right, so do you want to see the S-shaped curve? Do you want to know what I'm talking about? Or do you already know? Do you know the Muffin Man? Or should you want to hear about the S-shaped curve? You guys let me know, right? It's up to you. I'm up here. I don't want to just say the same thing over and over and over again and bore everybody into leaving if we've never heard about the S-shaped curve. And if I talk about the same thing too much, then people just dip out, right? So do you really want to get good at your seascapes? Yes, you want to hear about the S-shaped curve? And remember, guys, you guys that are watching on Facebook and YouTube, right? I had a comment as soon as I got finished last night filming the show. I go into Facebook, I'm looking at the video, I try to go back and reply to a few pertinent comments and get my subscribers and try to get the people that pay for the show and get them replied to. And I know I don't get everybody, guys, I'm sorry. And I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, so when you're watching the show on Facebook later on, right, and you're like, oh, what brush is that? I don't know. I've used a lot of brushes, and when I'm done with the show and my brain's fried, and I go, and it doesn't even tell me when the comment came up, it just goes, what brush is that? So tell me, if you're going to ask a question, hey, what brush is that when you did the smashing of the foam? Or what brush did you use to get the look on the thing? And then if I'm able to, and I see your comment, I go, hey, well, I used a fan brush. I made sure it was a little darker on one side, and then I came back with a little bit of white, mixed it in with the brown, and let it fade away, right? Now, if I've got the time, I love replying to you guys and answering those questions. So, but you got to let me know what the heck you're talking about, because I've already done it. It's already in the past, and now it's like, hey, what brush was that? And I go, fan brush, half round, 1-inch brush, 2-inch brush, palette knife, liner brush. I mean, it could be any of the brushes that I use throughout the painting. I don't know, right? So, about the S-shaped curve. This is why we stopped and we took a break. Look at that. I even got a little piece of paper right here that I've already wrote it on, but I'm going to do it fresh for you guys. So let's find something else to draw on. Let's find something else to draw on, Josh. What do we got? Do I got to do it on a paper towel, for goodness sake? I've got no paper up here. I've got nothing I can draw on at all. Like not even a single bit of just garbage, trash paper. This is horrible. All right, we're going to put it. Bailey did this for me a long time ago, and we're gonna end up painting over it. We'll do like a little father-daughter live. We used to do these little flower paintings and stuff. They were really cool. So what I'm gonna do on the back, I'm gonna show you the S-shaped curve. And she might get mad. She might get mad at me, but it's okay, right? And we're talking about, when I mention the S-shaped curve, I spread my legs, get down here on TikTok, right? I'm like, thrust in. So we talk about an S. Everybody knows that an S looks like that, right? That's a horrible S, but that's an S, right? What does our wave look like where we keep our dark separator? It looks like a stretched out S, right? If we were to match our wave shape, right, and take our S and really grab the ends and stretch it out, you get this little S-shaped curve, right? And that's what you want. You want it to come up and rotate just like an S, not be really pointy at the top. I've done them too, where you get a real point right at the top of the wave. You come up here and you come up here and it's like a triangle, right? That's not what you want. You want that slow gradient shape, and then this darkness is our dark shadows, which is coming, and you have your little bit of highlight that's rolling over the top, right? Coming down into your dark shadows. But when we talk about the S-shaped curve, that's it. When we talk about the mustache shape, that's this line right here, right? It looks like a little mustache. Those far away little waves like that, that's the mustache shape. So we got our S-shaped curve, which is just a stretched out S. If we were to take this guy and pull it that way, take this end and pull it that way, right? Both of these, maybe I'll just do it like this and then we won't have to draw every time. Both of those are going to stretch out your S, which is going to give you a more rounded, more natural wave in Paint with Josh's opinion, right? Was that helpful to anybody? My daughter's going to yell at me for painting on the canvas that we're supposed to paint together at some point. The canvas is like 9 months old. We got to pick a day and do it. Would you guys want to see me paint? She might not want to do it. Hey, Bailey. Bailey. Come here, I'm going to ask you a question online. I'm going to ask her, do you guys want to see me paint? I'll show my daughter how to paint and we'll watch her and it'll be really hard for me, but I'll stand back and I won't touch. I'm asking the people right now if they want to see me and you do a video and do a painting together. What do the comments say everywhere? Let's see, do we have any no's? Yeah, we don't want to see that. I'm sure they're like, yes, oh my God, please show your daughter. I can't wait to see it. Yeah? Read me some comments. What do they say?
Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes.
All right. What about on Facebook? Does anybody say yes on Facebook? Yeah, tons of people. You have any names? Say one person's name. Give them a shout out.
T. Simons.
T. Simmons. There we go. Let's give a person a shout out over here on TikTok. Anybody, first person you see, whatever the name is. If you're gonna get lucky, first name you see, say it. Come on. Oh no, they're popping in too fast.
Nicole.
Nicole what?
That's it.
Just Nicole. Hey, Nicole gets a shout out from Bailey. Excellent. So apparently, Bailey, they want us to do a painting together. So you'll stand up here, right? And I'll be, I don't know, somewhere close, maybe sitting on the table over here, and Bailey will teach us how to do a painting. Oh, that would be so neat. Don't you guys think? That would be so cool. We'd have to keep it all zoomed in though, because you just have to have Bailey's arm, right? So just be your arm. You wouldn't even have to put on any makeup. And nobody would even see your face, right? Just be your hand, just like what Daddy does, right? Just like this. You guys want to see that? I want to see how many yeses we have in the comments. How old? She's 11. So if I can teach her how to paint a seascape or a landscape, I can teach you guys how to do it, right? Hello from Michigan. That will be so cool to watch me teach you how to paint, right? I was showing everybody this, B. I said, remember when we did this and we were going to like paint the flowers and stuff? And we did the one painting, right?
Let me bring it.
Oh, you want to bring it? Well, look, I was just going to show you real fast. I sort of drew on it to show everybody.
I like it.
She's going. No, she goes. That's fine. I don't care. Yeah, bring the flower painting. Let's see it. You guys want to see the flower painting? Well, I gotta wash these brushes anyway, so we got a few minutes. Tell me where you're watching from. Make some friends in the comments. Chit chat back and forth. Right. The more you guys talk, the more people will see the video. Ooh, here's one that Bailey did. Well, you did this like 2-3 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. 2-3 years ago, guys. What do you think? And this is when you were like 7 or 8, and now you're 11. I think you could do a little bit better now. What are they saying? What do you guys think of Bailey's painting? Do we even sign? Oh, we never signed the back or nothing. What do you guys think? A little bit of grass, got some bushes down around the bottom. These look like Paint with Josh trees to me. What do they say, Dee?
They're saying how good I am and
See?
that they love it.
They love it. You're probably better than some of those people that are watching. I'm dead serious, right? Everybody starts at a different level, right? When I started, I was pretty good off the bat. Do you think you can go down and get my very first painting?
Is it that blue one?
Yeah, the blue one that's hanging by the TV. You can go lift it off the wall and bring it up here.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you guys my very first oil paint. So while she's going down to get the very first one, right? The very first one we did. And then I'll show you my very first acrylic painting. So I'm going to wash these brushes off. I've already showed you guys how to wash them off. But let's show you one more time, at least on this very first one, right? And come in here. Remember, if you want to buy one of these paintings or buy the sweaters or the merch, right? Get the Paint with Josh stuff. Got the thing. I got hats. I got beanies. I've got leggings, ladies. I got leggings. Bailey, bring up a Red Bull, please, too. Bailey, bring a Red Bull, please. Oh, good. She heard me. She heard me. Man, Red Bull and Adderall. Zing! I'm just flying, baby. We're just flying. All right, let's do that. We're going to finish washing off these brushes. And you guys are going to tell me where you're watching from. You're going to make friends in the comments. Let's see. What do we got over here, guys? Tennessee. It's very pretty. Thank you. Just stick around for just a few more minutes, and we're going to pop in the rest of it. It's going to be gorgeous. Red Bull, thank you for all the follows, guys. Make sure you tap the screen, like the live. If you're watching over on YouTube, make sure you give me a thumbs up, please. The thumbs ups is help. Let me move you guys so I can see the comments here. We got Colorado from Jackie Cass. I love you, Jackie. I'm actually using, we'll talk about Jackie since she's here watching. So initially I had my little teeny tiny white palette, and then Linda Offen, one of my awesome Facebook fans, she's bought me the big Bob Ross palette. We used it for a long time. And then, just hold on one second, B. And then Jackie Casa was like, I know you like that big Bob Ross palette, and I don't use mine anymore, so I'm going to send you mine. She sent it to me, and this is your palette, Jackie. This is literally the palette that Jackie Casa owned before me, right? She's one of my best followers, one of my longest time paying fans. She's a Super Squad member. She's a rockin' mom and grandma. So, I don't know if you're a grandma, Jackie. I'm sorry. I'm just assuming. I'm sorry. If I said that and it's wrong, oh my God, she's going to leave. She's going to stop paying for my page because I just called her a grandma. Oh my God, Jackie, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Tell me you're a grandma so I don't feel so bad. All right, you guys want to see the very first painting ever. Thank you for the Red Bull.
Dad.
Huh?
Nice diamond.
Yeah, you like my watch. Yeah, it's blingy. The bling makes me more creative.
Period.
Right? Do you want to see a period? I don't know what these kids say anymore. You guys want to see my very first painting that we ever did? This little, you're going to be surprised. Watch it from Prince Rupert. That's awesome. Cosmic Lighthouse. We got some stars over here. Let's see. I don't see anybody that says they want to see the very first painting, so I guess we'll just have to skip that bit. Oh, no. I guess Texas Fancy doesn't want to see it. Jordan doesn't want to see it. Moon Kepter doesn't want to see it. Christina Mama doesn't want to see it. Carrie Neal doesn't want to see it. Jay doesn't want to see it. Nobody wants to see it. Okay, here we go. Let's see it, right? This is the very first Paint with Josh painting that we ever did. It's all like dusty, super thick and textured, right? And when I stepped back after doing this very first painting, I was like, I think I'm going to have a career in painting. If I can keep going and keep rocking at it, right? That was going to be it. And this one, look, it's not even signed. It's not signed. It's not labeled. Let's actually do it right now, just real quick. And then we got to wash some brushes, guys. But this one is literally number one. Number one, right? And that one, I don't think I will ever sell. Maybe I'll list it for $10,000, right? And if somebody wants to spend $10,000 on the very first Paint with Josh painting ever, right? Then maybe you can buy it. But if not, it's going to sit in my house. Number one, at least till it goes into a museum when we're like Bob Ross status, right? I can't even remember what I called it back in the day, but it turned out fantastic. What do you guys think? I'm about to come back and check out the comments and scroll a little bit. Hopefully you're not like, oh my God, that's trash, right? That was just trash. Because after I stepped back and saw that, even my friends Jenny and Tori, they're probably not watching, but they'll get a mention here. Jenny and Tori, wow, awesome, love it, sincerely beautiful. Thank you. That was my very first one. Hey, Bram's here. Did you see my very first painting, Bram? Very first painting ever. Oh my God, so good, right? When I did it, I was like, man, this painting thing's easy. Beautiful, thank you. The hell with it, everybody. Let's do it. Let's do what? What are we doing? What are we doing over on Facebook? Let's chit-chat between. Holy cow, better than my first one, right? That's when I looked back and I was like, it's so good, your first painting. Thank you, I appreciate that. But you can see we've grown, right? Do I have oh, look at this. Okay, I'll show you the difference We just held up the very first painting. I'm going to show it to you one more time. Right? Just as a here and then and now, right? That was then, right? Take a good mental image. That was then. And then this one was 2 nights ago. This is now. See the difference in the caliber? You know what I mean? The depth, the distance, the colors, all that stuff. This is also a limited palette. That other one was 3 colors. This one's 4 colors. But you can see it looks like I used a lot more than 4 colors to paint that guy. And that's what I love doing. I love limited palette paintings and showing you guys that you don't need the entire rainbow in order to make something pretty. You really don't. So let's get a drink. We're going to finish washing the brushes off. I got to take just a second. How long have we been going for? That can't be right. That can't be right. What time is it? Oh my God, it's 10:10 already? 10:10, I love you, right? You guys ever do that when it's like 1:11 or 2:22, 10:10, 11:11, 12:12, 3:33? I always used to say it to London. I'd go, hey, all right, text her and be like, hey, it's 11:11, I love you. All right, so it's 10:10, I love you guys. We got to get going on this painting. My goodness, stop messing around, Josh. You just messed about the entire time. And let's go. I don't even need to finish washing these. I've got extra brushes. We'll wash them later, right? We'll wash them later. We talked too much time about showing you the first painting and doing all that, so everybody's already left. No one's even here watching anymore, right? Okay, and we don't want to come in and make our foam, which is going to come in from wherever your water comes down and hit, right? Let's do our water bit first, just so you can see it. Now, anytime I'm doing water, I'm using liquid white. It's very runny compared. Look at the difference in the texture, right? Very runny compared to the titanium white. Titanium white, you can see all those brush strokes because it's very thick and every bristle that goes through leaves a mark. In the liquid white, it's very watery. So we want to mix that with our titanium white and have a nice little mixture. Maybe snag one little swipe of yellow over here just to have a difference in color. Right, mixing it up, getting it all onto our brush. And look, the yellow's not even all over the white, so it's just the littlest bit. We come up here and we need to crest over the top of the wave. Don't want to come way up here into our sky, right? So just a couple little flicks and you can see the angle of my brush, just like this. It's not straight on the canvas, right? I'm not smushing into it this way. Even though that might look cool if we did it upwards. I might have to do less. But I like coming at it from the side with just the corner. And then I'm going to show you guys again down on my palette. And I have to sort of get really close and try to see everybody on camera, right? Where's my thumb? There it is. Okay. So if we come over here, this is what we're doing, right? We're touching in with just the corner, making a little dab. Right? You guys on TikTok see that little dab? And all we're worried about is what the top of the dab looks like, right? Way over here with the top of this thing, that little imperfection at the top, because the rest of it is going to be the wave, right? You have those little splashy bits that are going off. That's what you want to have. So we're just using the tip, just the tip, ladies, like this, and gentlemen, right in here. Right? I'm going to come in and just tap at it softly, going half over the shadows and half up into the wave, or above into the top. Just like that, cresting over the tip top, just over the edge, so we don't have to see the top of the wave rolling in. That helps add depth, and just from tapping into it, my brush is already starting to turn a darker color. You can see it right there, right? Just from touching it 3, 4, 5 times. So the more we have to go down, the more we're going to push, right? Continuing the darkness, letting it get further and further onto the brush, half onto the shadows, half below is shadow, right? So we're going half into the shadows and half above. Right? You got to come out into your little bit of water. Now, anytime you go back to load up the brush, look what happens. It starts to darken our color down here. So you got to be careful. I'm going to go get this bristle out of here. We're having a lot of bristles fall out of the brushes today, making me look bad, right? These brushes, I've probably painted 50 paintings with these brushes, and now we're finally starting to get some bristle loss. So they're very cool brushes. They're GAC Doctor artist brushes. I mean, there's literally no other way to say it. G-A-C-D-R. GAC Doctor. That's what I call them anyway. I hope they hit me up. And they go, hey, the name's actually whatever. This is how you pronounce it, and we want to give you free brushes. I'm like, hey, cool. So we're going to come in here again, not covering the bottom half, right? If you decided to put a line, look at how shaky I am. I'm like, oh, God. If you decided to put a line right here, right, you'd have the bottom half in the shadow, and the top half would be light. So that's why we always say, trust the process. It's never going to look exactly how we show it right at the beginning. Right? And then we smack, and we rotate, and we come over here. Now that we're down in here, you can start to push with more of the brush because I want to get more stuff happening, right? More things, more white, but leaving what? Leaving dark areas, very bright down to very dark. The original very darkness, the black here we didn't even touch. Over here, it's all mixing, right? And even though it looks very cool like this, I used to leave my seascapes just like that. If you bought an older one, It's got all that texture in the water. It looks just like this, crashing down like a snapshot in time, right? But nowadays we make a big old giant cloud out of it. And it makes it look a lot softer, and then we leave just little teeny areas of this stuff, just like that. Man, that looks cool. All right, but again, try to maintain that S-shaped curve. Now that we have the white on top of it, we're looking for our bright line to go and make that S shape that we talked about earlier. And if you missed what I mean earlier, then I'm going to show you right here, just real quickly, right? If we were to take an S and stretch it out from each side, taking the thing and stretching it, it's going to turn into this long S shape, which is exactly what our dark and now bright line is making, right? An S-shaped curve. That's how I like to do my seascapes, and that's how we like to show them. Now we're going to come in with a brush, a little 1-inch brush, clean, dry 1-inch brush, just like this. I like doing this on the TikToks for the boomerang. It's like, rotates back and forth. And come up here to the top, just like that, very lightly. And remember, guys, I keep forgetting, my manager wants you guys to go over to paintwithjosh.com. All right, if you go over and check out our website, paintwithjosh.com, see what we got going on over there, and look, all of a sudden, that has become, it looks like it's further in the background than our bit of white, right? Our more textured area. And you don't have to go all the way up with your cloud. It doesn't have to be the same amount of softness, right? But just in there, I'm going to show more and more of our brightness and less of the dark cloud. We're going to decide where we want it to pull down anyway, right? So if we pull it down over here, slide it off to the side, now we got a bit of kind of beachy softness back there. Not trying to make it too bright. Now we can also tell where our bit of water has actually come down and hit. Right, we came down, we smacked down back there. We can even take a few more little bits of our liquid white and finish around our wave, adding those little bits of details back in. A couple little slaps, little things, right, that stuck out around all that other water, maintaining all that little curve. Very cool, right? And then again, even lighter pressure this time, so lightly, and I'm gonna try to do it a little slow. There we go, so small, couple drags every so often, missing some of them. Right? And that way you get that little bit of water, that little bit of spray, it's all coming down. There we go. Very cool. Very cool, right? And again, we hit, and then we decide maybe we'll start taking our water and we'll start sliding it back up our wave, right? So that's the fun part to me. Let's wash off the brush. Again, you guys are going to tell me where you're watching from, what's your favorite sandwich, and I'm just going to mention real quick, this painting is for sale. You can buy it in my Etsy store right now. Before we're even finished, you can buy it. Go over to paintwithjosh.etsy.com and search for number 7. Shoot. What is it supposed to be? 749, I think. Hang on, now I gotta look. Now you guys are making me look bad. Now you're making me look bad here. Let's see. Pop. 749, that's right. 749. Now I'm going to deactivate the other two, 750 and 751, which I meant to do earlier. So the only one in there that we're painting live right now is a 16 by 20 inch painting titled number 749. So either type in the search bar in my store, TikTok, or number 749, right? Don't type number, just put 749. And it'll pull up this painting. Type in the word TikTok, you'll see all the other paintings that we did on TikTok that hadn't sold yet. And it's going to be a good time. So if you're bored, you go over on the toilet or whatever, you're sick of watching TikTok for a minute, your eyes are starting to hurt, go over and check out paintwithjosh.etsy.com. And you can get this painting that we're painting right now. It's a lot of fun when it sells during the show. And it's only $210, right? Normally this size is about $349 when we're doing the live show. And people nab them up at $349. So I'm doing a special this weekend only, right? Or today only anyway, about all these paintings. I plan on painting 5-6 paintings. Bailey's going to go with her friend to the jumpy place, I call it. I never call anything by its real name. I think it's called Sky Zone or something, but I call it the jumpy place. Like the squeezy bit, tappy trees, jumpy place, right? All the cool little things that we do. So I'm going to have lots of time to paint, and we're going to be doing different things, right? If you don't like the seascape, I think I have like an Aurora Borealis waterfall coming up next. And then after that, we're going to do a bigger seascape on an 18 by 24, maybe on a black canvas, maybe on a half black and white. I might have to go get some more canvases today. If we can sell a few, I'll be able to buy more canvases, and then we'll do more canvases. We'll do more free paintings. And guess what, guys? Over on Facebook, I'll go live on YouTube as much as I go live on TikTok today. So follow me over on YouTube. All the shows today will be live tutorials over on YouTube. You'll be able to rewatch every single one. I literally paint every day on TikTok, and today we're going to do it 5 or 6 times. So, here comes the fun part. Enough chit-chat. We probably wasted 20 minutes with the painting looking like this. And people are going, why the hell am I still here watching this guy? Right? Just like that. Into there, loading it up with some white paint. And here comes the fun bit, guys. Tell me, look. Here comes the fun bit, guys. Tell me where you're watching from. What's your favorite sandwich? Check into the old Paint with Josh show, and here we go. Bam, knock all the cameras over. We're going to come into here and just start sliding back. Don't want to curl up yet. Just start sliding back. Back, 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 back. Come over here, right? That's about the middle of our foam. Now we're going to go back. We're going to make the front. It's going to come out a little bit more into our little sandy area, right? Sliding it down, sliding it forward. Bing, bang, boom. Lines right back up to where our wave just hit and crashed. Now we got all this little bit of foam action that we can play with. All right, now here comes the fun part. We got to wash the brush off again. Dab it off on a paper towel. Wash it off with the thinner back into the bucket. A couple little beat the devil out of it, and we're good to go, right? Load it back up again so it's nice and fresh. Not diluted with any other color. It hasn't mixed in with anything yet, so it's going to be nice, right? Now we're going to have to start going back before we go up. Imagine there's a tennis ball right here in the center. And you can't just go straight up onto it, right? You got to go back and then rotate. So I'm going to be able to turn the brush just like this. Start rotating up. Try not to flick our eye, though. Don't want to hit the eye too much. Right? As we come out here, we start getting flatter and flatter and longer and longer and longer because we're going to meet up with the top section of our water. Right? Now that we have less paint on the brush and it's turned into that purpley color and it's less bright, then we can come in here and really create that little inner shape, the inner curvature of our water. Trying not to let the bright areas touch too much. You got to leave that little darkness. Leave these little dark areas in there. And then swipe them out, right? Don't even have to cover all that. They're little holes, they're lips, they're dips and drabs. We can even add, watch this, we'll just add a bit of dark just in there, just why not, right? Just to have it look different. I'm gonna take our brush, wipe off the darkness, come back, slide it over, right? And you get a little different area of our foam. It looks a little bit different on this side. A couple little bits back in there. Maybe it's slid up, maybe it all blended together. Whatever it looks like, it looks messy, like foam and water would. Right? It's not going to be a perfect thing out there. And then no one's going to buy it if it's just a perfect straight line of everything, right? We're going to come in here very lightly, skipping over some areas of that darkness, changing it, adding little ripples, adding little things back to our brush, back over this little dark section, but not covering all of it, right? Little bits. Then as we go further and further and further, and then we get up to our corner up here. Very pretty. Look at it change, all these colors. And the more paint that we add, the more bright it's going to become, right? So we start with very little amount of paint, and we work it, and we work it, and we work it, and we work it. Maybe this guy starts coming down like this, right? And then, maybe, just maybe, continues on, just like a clock, guys, right? We're working at it like a clock, just like that. And you're like, oh no, what is that? It's a little ridge into our water. It's very cool. Right? Slide this guy, is going to blend in with the blue. Working in with that top line, right? Now here comes the fun part. We're connecting all the pieces together. And if you do it like a clock like this, it really helps with your perspective. Keeping everything at the right angle, right? All like the hours and minutes of a clock. Right? We're going to come in here, we're going to come up like this, make our another little mustache shape. Remember we talked about what the mustache looked like? It's like a little lip. But in this case, we're going to rotate it. We're going to take this little guy, right? And then we're going to match it up with that little part of our mustache. We're going to come in very light and then down. Just like that, right? Come in, down. Little mustache, though. You got to make that little point. Got to have the point. And swiping it in. Look at these colors. One more time. I'm going to come down, swiping it down, right? Now here, we're going to have to start rotating at a little angle like the water is getting wrapped up. Right? Coming around, making little circles and just not connecting all the way. Now, looks like we took a little of our dark color and pushed it up here, but just with these oils, watch this, they slide away. It doesn't even matter. Literally does not matter. Cut it in half and double it. Right? It doesn't matter, just like that. Now, I'm going to come back with our clean, dry brush again, our 1-inch brush. Nice dry one, just like this. Very softly start to blend those little things back again. Leaving our darkness, leaving our dark separator. Don't have to cover the whole thing, right? Even take our bit of purple and extend it over the smallest bit with our eye. I don't want to cover everything. You got to have these little dark areas, right? And then here we start to rotate around that little lip, lining it up with our guys up here. And it's okay to have a little difference, a little shadow back in there as it's rotating over and coming down. Just by the poles of our brush, we decide what it looks like, right? Just based on how we take the paint, our amount of pressure, right? Blending it up, leaving those deep dark areas, those differences. I just touched it right here. Those differences, but look, with the oils, literally blend it right away. Gotta leave our differences in color, our dark areas, our light areas, our pink, our purple, the blue, the green. We used every single color, right? Come back over here, watch. Come down at the angle, right? Coming back to the same point, basically. Come in here. We're gonna rotate in, we're turning the brush, we're going down, we're pulling it up. Now we're going from the bottom, right? Same thing, just softening it at those same angles, rotating it down, pulling it. We get these soft little things, guys. It's like the water is just coming right out into us. And then we can decide, maybe we take it a little brighter, we pull it down a little more over here, and we decide what the water is gonna do at that point. But from here on out, that is a great looking little seascape. So start coming up with your name ideas, guys. I have trouble naming so many paintings after a while. So if you can help me with the name, that would really be helpful. And remember, again, you can buy this painting. It's $210. It's 30% off of free worldwide shipping. Anywhere in the world, I will send it to you, right? We got a little bit brighter action down here. Just on the lighter side, not on the darker side. The shadowy side we don't really care about. Right, but here, into that light side of that little ridge of water. Then we go back, and what do, guys? We soften it. At least I do. I don't know what you guys do. I go back and soften it because it's too bright, it's too much texture, it's too thick, too many brush strokes, right? And I like them nice and flowy and just like effervescently soft. Just amazing. I don't like my little ridge to be all the same, you know, almost like a direct diagonal line. So we can take our ridge over here with a little bit more brightness, work it at a little different angle, right? Now it's almost like a little S-shaped curve, just like that. We talk about them all the time. You guys know we talked about the S-shaped curve today. So, hey, just pulling it down, letting it become very soft. Now taking this guy the other direction, sliding it off, pulling it harder, less hard, you know, all changing our pressure. And then we decide what we want it to look like. Just like that. Blend it in. You can put a bit of darkness there. You can add a rock. You can do whatever you want to do. Or you can just keep brightening it up, right? Keep brightening it up as we come with our foam. Going over here. And going over there. Leaving little differences. Right? Coming out at the front. Same thing. Not really having to curve too much because we're way out here on the edge, right? Just like that. Letting it flow up into the water. And then flowing away. Letting it change. Letting it be brighter in some areas and darker in some areas, right? Very cool. I want to go catch some char off of this wave right here, guys. Now, here's the best part of doing a seascape for me is that bright sand. How bright do we want to make this water or our sandy shine of our beach? You guys want to see it retain very dark? Like this one right here is sort of dark, right? Because there's an eclipse in the sky, it's going to be a little darker than normal, right? Especially with the sand. You're not going to have so much sun shining back in there. So, wicked. Now, let's see. Let's rotate this painting, and we'll put a new painting up here and give you guys something new to look at. And just like that, we can have an awesome new little piece to try to show and sell and do all the stuff we need to do, right? That's how I make my money, guys. I make my money by doing these paintings for you and trying to sell them. If you like maybe a little dark nighttime seascape, you can get both of these paintings for pretty cheap. Right? Pretty cheap right there. Get a little bit of our dark action. Got to make room for this other big one. Put it back on the wall now. It's nice and dry, but I don't like to set them on the floor. They all hang on the wall around my house. Let's see. Thanks for all the follows, guys. We get this wicked orange. It's actually not really that orange on TikTok. It looks very orange, but it's actually not that bad. All right, let's see. Sundown to Paradise. I like that. Sundown on Paradise for a name. Remember, guys, start coming up with a name. Sunset Ridge. That's very cool. Very cool little name. Let's see. Joel Ash loves my painting, apparently, with her emojis. Let's see. Do I make 420 pieces? I'm going to soon. My manager keeps pushing me to do that because we live in Las Vegas. I work in that industry. And what kind of paint did I use? These are oil paints. But yeah, I want to do like almost like a super up-close version of a flower, you know what I mean? The kind of flower we're talking about, like the cola with the thing and the leaves and the hairs. I want to do a super up close version of it, but I like to do everything live, and doing something new like that with all that detail, doing it live is sort of daunting to me. So my manager's like, well, just don't do it live. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, the people expect me to come up here and do it live. Like, if I practice, that sort of goes against my brand, right? We don't practice. I come up here and I show you guys, this is my painting journey. This is the point that we're at right now. And I've been doing it for X amount of years, showing you guys everything I know to try to help your painting journey be easier, right? So it's not more, you know, I don't know. I don't even know what I was talking about. This eye of this wave is so gorgeous. I don't even know what the heck I was talking about. So, do you guys want to see it super bright, or do you want to see it nice? We could do it yellow. You want to see it yellow like the sun? Do you want to see it pink like the water? Tell me, yellow or pink? What kind of sand color are we going to do here? Riding the waves in the shiny sun. I like that. Let's see. Oils for beginners. I started with the Bob Ross brand. That's what I suggest getting. And, you know, that's how I started. That's how I work. Yellow sand, yellow sand, yellow sand, pink sand. What do we got, guys? What do we got for comments? Anybody over on YouTube? What color sand should we do? Let's see. Looks pretty color, which is great. Let's see, watching from Ontario. Thank you for tuning in and hanging out from Ontario. We got pink, pink, yellow. It's just a battle between the sands, right? Between the sands of time, a battle for the ages. Let's see, shiny sand, gold, right? It's got to have some gold sand in there, I think. And just offset that bit of pink. We got so much pink in our water that maybe with some yellow down here, right? Some bright yellow. It's going to mix in with that brown. Maybe a little of our yellow ochre, just a touch. Mix both these guys together. A couple more swipes, just like that. Watch this now, right? Just on the one side of the brush, not on the other side, just the one side. And this is the biggest mistake I see beginners make. They either come up too close to their water, or they don't slide it all out when we get done. So what I'm going to do is stay about a 1/4 inch beneath my bright area, right? Leaving a what? A dark what? I'm going to follow you. If you know, what are we leaving? A dark... Let's see, anybody? Separator, moon captor, right there. You're getting a follow from Paint with Josh because you know about the dark separator. It's very easy to get a follow from Paint with Josh if you just listen to everything I say and watch me constantly. Then when you'll know when to answer questions and how easy it is to get a follow from Paint with Josh, right? There we go. I only follow about 250 people over on TikTok, about 22 people on Facebook. So if you get a follow from Paint with Josh, consider yourself lucky because I don't follow everybody. And I like to save the follows for the people who answer the questions, right? Look at how much brighter it is, sort of right underneath the sun. Got a little bit brighter, a little bit more paint, right? Now we're going to take a clean, dry 2-inch brush, dab it off on a paper towel so we know it's dry. We're going to test it, right? Bam, perfectly. Now what we need to do is push down on this sand. And with our right amount of what? The second P, right? We talked about the first P. What's the second P? Second P of Paint with Josh is, anybody guys? Luis Baldwin knows the separation. Good job over there. And we got Roger House knows the separator. Cindy. Let's see, over here on TikTok, all the comments is flooded in. Elena, she's got the follow today. 81 followers. Now you got 82, girl. 82 followers. Paint with Josh follows you for knowing the second P of Paint with Josh. That's pressure. All right, so we're going to come in here. Push down with a fair amount of pressure, leaving our dark separation though. Otherwise we have to go back and put it in. It's a pain in the butt. Come up and grab it. There we go. All right, every time you have to go back and put your dark separator in, it just dulls the color of your sand even more because you have to add that darkness to get it back in there. All right, I'm gonna pull it down. Not gonna pull it down all the way though. I want to leave a little bit. But this is the biggest mistake I see the beginners make. Even people that I like, watching their video, or not watching their videos, but looking at their paintings. And I go, guys, I say it all the time. This looks like an aurora borealis up in the sky, right? If we were to turn the canvas upside down, that would be an aurora. That looks very sharp, like it's going to cut my little toesies, right? So in order to make it look like sand, we're going to pull it back away from the dark separator first and turn all those vertical swipes into horizontal swipes. Look at the difference, right? This looks like I want to go out and walk on it. This looks like I'm either going to fall off of a cliff or it's going to cut my feet up, right? And that's not what we want. Very softly mixing it. And we got a little bit of blue in with our brown. And so it's kind of getting a little green hue to the sand, which is very neat. Now watch, here we go. There's the dark separator. See it? See it? This is what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to slide this paint, just like we're pushing on a sequin pillow and we're changing it to all those different colors, right? slide it, a little bit of pressure. As we come up, we pull away. And if we can get that little bit of darkness, just that little dark line right underneath, right? Oh my goodness, just how cool it looks. It helps our sand, our water sit up on top of the sand, right? Take the rest of it back and forth. Don't have to cover the entire canvas. I try to leave a little dark area at least, right? And a lot of times if it does get covered, where's my palette? Go over here, take a bit of our browns for our sand, and just start pushing it back, right? Like our sequin pillow. Pop in a bit of that darkness. Maybe the water didn't get all the way out there. And maybe it's not perfectly all the same, right? Get that little bit of difference. Just like that. Very cool. It's like sucked in. You got a little dry sand, little wet sand action. Little differences, guys. That's what's going to sell your painting. Those little differences. That little bit right there, right? And then every so often, I like to take just a little. We can come in here. Maybe say there was like a little bit of extra bit of foam, just with that white on our knife, just mixing it up, right? Pulling it out like that. And then very, very, very lightly, with a clean, dry, you can use a fan brush just to use the point, the tip. Slide that tip back. Little things, very straight back towards the wave though, right? Not a lot of curve. You're not trying to make the sand look curvy. Right? I mean, we all love curvies, but we don't like curvy sand. That'd be like a wavy bit. I don't know how I'd walk on that. There we go. All right, taking that. And slide it out, change it, pick up a little bit of color, drop it here, drop it there. You decide what it looks like. A little bit of water, a little bit of something, a little bit of action. I wonder what Bram's doing, by the way. I saw that he had tuned in earlier. I wonder if he's still watching or if he's on vacation, because he's supposed to be on vacation. So get back to your vacay, Bram. There we go. Have fun, too. I guess he brought his paints on vacation. Brought his paints, which I've done. It's the biggest pain in the butt to travel with everything I need to film and do a live show, or at least do a video. God, it's hard to travel with all that stuff. There we go. A little bit of ripples, little action. So cool. So neat. Just love this one. So Bram might actually come up with a video about how to do a painting outside, or maybe he's out there painting right now. Who knows? And we'll end up all seeing it on his YouTube channel. So if you don't follow him over there, get over and follow him. Follow everybody, guys. Like, subscribe. It's so easy. It's free, it's easy, and you don't have to search for anything. Every so often it'll just show you a cool video and you go, oh, that's cool, I want to paint that one today. Right? Subscribe. On YouTube anyway. Right? If you subscribe on Facebook, you have to pay, and if you subscribe on TikTok, you have to pay. So just follow me over there and subscribe on YouTube. It's just like following me for free. Nothing crazy. I've got so many videos over there. It's literally my smallest audience at 14,000 subs. So if you go over there and just hit the subscribe button on every painter, on every creator, right? It just helps us all. It just helps. And what does it do to you, right? It's not going to harm you. It's not going to clog up your phone. Sure, you might see some new stuff more often, but nothing crazy, right? And it's really going to help that other creator gain more follow. The more subs you have, the more people think it's cool and they want to start to follow you, gaining you more subs, right? So just follow people, guys. Like, it's not a hard thing. Right? The only reason I don't follow people is because I'm barely on it to begin with. I go on to post my content and then I leave. And I'm not on the apps for very much longer after that. Very cool. Look at this little bit. It's like a little bit of light coming down the edge. You can add all these little details. We can blend it away. We can soften it. We come back in, changing our angles, right? And it flow over. So cool. So cool. All depends on us and how bright we want it to be in different spots and here and there. Just so neat. Always come back. You can add a little bit of blue. You can add a little bit of crimson. You can change it. You can rotate. Just do it in those same angles, right? We want this side to be shadowier. So let's make him shadowier. Just like that. I wonder when these girls are going to go to that jumpy place. Little jumpy castle, or whatever it's called. So gorgeous, guys. Oh, I just can't stop playing with it. It's just so pretty. Just so stinking pretty. A little bit of our blue coloring back here, just for the buyer's eyeball, right? And you guys might not even be able to see the small amount of the blue that we just laid into there. But when the buyer's inspecting it for every single little detail after they've bought it, or if you're going to go look at it on my Facebook page or Instagram after this before you buy it, and you want to see all the details and zoom in and make sure I did a good enough job for you to purchase it, I totally get that. I totally get that. All right, you'll be able to see it. Go over on Instagram, go over on Facebook, where you'll be able to purchase it, right? That's where the links will be is over on Facebook. You can't really do the links over on Instagram, and I don't have time to put it in my Instagram store and do all that nonsense, right? So this one's probably going to be the most detailed little soft one, right? That's my style. It's a mixture between like details and softness. Look at this little ridge, that little bit of white as it's coming along, just very lightly pulling off onto the brighter side, leaving the other side in the shadow. These cool little things, look at that. Maybe there's another little bit, another little ridge right over there too. A little bit of separation in between them, a little bit of darkness in there too, keeping our little details. Maybe he went off this way, or it came this way, depending on which way you pull it, right? Very cool. You just walk, and we're gonna climb up there, come around, back around here, and then we'll be up at the top of the moon, the sun. Awesome. So guys, let's see. It doesn't look like the painting is sold, which is okay. I'm still gonna come back. I'm gonna paint some more. We gotta get some inventory for the shop, right? We'll go over on Facebook. We'll post them over there. I'm gonna go down. I think I have to go get some more thinner at some point today. Our odorless mineral spirits. I'm gonna have to go get more because there's barely anything in there, and my cup is only about half full, and that's not good. So we'll just have to take a little break. We'll have to run to the store, get some new canvases maybe. I was really hoping one of these paintings would sell during the show today, and that would give me the cash to go buy some new canvases. You guys know how expensive all this stuff is. And when I get the sales, I use that money to go get art stuff. All right? All of your sales go towards helping me feed Bailey, helping me buy new canvases, new brushes, new supplies, getting new ideas, new equipment, right, for better videos, all sorts of stuff. So even if you're gonna go just buy a hat for, I don't know, 25 bucks or whatever they are, they're super quality too. Even my manager was like, dude, they're like name brand hats, like, and they're super quality. I was like, yeah, I don't put out garbage for my fans. Nobody's gonna want some garbage, right? I use the good stuff. So it's a little bit more expensive, right? But it's better quality anyway. Better quality, that's what it's about, the quality, man. About the quality time together where me and you wearing our Paint with Josh hats together. You send me a selfie, I'll send you a selfie with my Paint with Josh hat on. You got your Paint with Josh hat on. That'd be cool. We should do a contest, like who can take the better Paint with Josh hat selfie. That'd be kind of funny. Like where's, people in the Grand Canyon. I got the hat hanging over the edge of like a cliff. Who could take the better Paint with Josh? Maybe when I'm big enough that a lot of people want to buy my hats. Then we could do a little contest like that. That'd be kind of cool. Okay, let's stop messing around. And we're going to go over here, we're going to sign the painting, grabbing up a little bit of our darker color on the end of the brush, a little bit of the black, teeny tiny little liner brush, right? And I like to put my family in every single painting, and they go flying through our scenes in the form of these three little birds, right? It's actually not enough paint on the brush. I get a little bit more paint up there, Josh. There we go. They go into these three little birds, and they go flying through every single scene, right? And they represent myself, London, and our gorgeous daughter Bailey, and they're part of this signature. I'm kind of sort of known for these little three birds. When you see a painting and it's got three birds in it in the sky, instantly you're already thinking, is this a Paint with Josh? It could be. It might not be. I tell everybody, do you, right? If you've got 3 people in your family, add them in there. If you've got 5, put 5. You got 27, you got 19 kids, put them all in there. You have a whole flock of birds flying through, right? Very cool. Now we're going to sign it down here in our yellow ochre brownie color. Right, get a little yellow oakish, a little brown, mix them together just so it looks sort of like that wet sandy sheen, but down here in the dark corner is where it's going to pop out. Right there. Bing, bang, boom. Little JK action for you. Very neat looking. This one we got to curl the J. There we go. The art scholars 100 years from now will be like, that's obviously a fake. His signature isn't the same as all the other ones, right? No, I was just lazy. I was just lazy that day. All right, for the scholars 100 years from now. Let's see. Like the art phenomenon, Paint with Josh. They came and showed the world how to paint for free. Look at this signature. This one's obviously a fake because it's not the same. No. Josh was lazy that day and he just didn't finish the J. All right, what do you guys think about this painting? It's very, very cool. I hope you're typing in names in the comments. Start naming the painting. What do you want to name it? All right, do you want to name it Lavender Shores, Sunset Cove, Big Crashing Watery Wave with Tons of Color? What do you want to name it? Because I get sick of naming paintings. This is number 750, what is it again? I lost track. 700 and something is what it is. That's not where I want to be. Here we go. 749, so we'll paint 750 next. I've done 749 paintings and try to naming them all, you get sort of in a funk where you're naming every painting the same thing after a while. So let's come in and see, and then you'll get the shout out if I choose your name. All right, here we go. We got Wave Came Crashing. That's cool, kind of like Something Came Calling. Lavender Mountain. Into Tomorrow, guys. Timo, I'm going to follow you. I might use that later. I'm going to give you a follow. So if I ask for Timo to come back and say that one again, Into Tomorrow, that's a very cool title. Right? It doesn't always have to be about the colors. Sunset Surf, I appreciate that. Joshua, you must be just the most handsome person, because all of us Joshes are cursed with being the most handsome, are we not? Retro Wave Shore. Oh, kind of like retrograde, right? Isn't Mercury in retrograde or something? Anybody into Crashing Dreams? Let's see. You may put some rocks on the left side. Sometimes we do, and sometimes we don't, right? But in this one, I will. Let's put a little rock in. I'll just show you. I see you, 420. If you want to buy it, right? If you go purchase it, then you can tell me to put rocks in, right? But if not, then it's kind of up to me. Sunset into yesterday. Mercury in retrograde confirmed. Okay. Thank you, Cosmic Lighthouse. I knew I could count on you. I need you, I said I would marry Cosmic Lighthouse the other day. Need you here so you can answer all the astrology questions, at least for all the fans, right? Interstellar Tranquility. That's a great title. That is just a grand old title right there, right? Again, you guys can buy this painting, paintwithjosh.etsy.com. It's still available. I just checked the store. And if you don't want a painting, go over and buy one of the beanies like Tink Tink did last night. Waves on the Horizon. That's very cool. At home watching the TV series, getting movies and getting fat. That's funny. Don't do that, Josh. Us Josh has got to look the best. You can't make me wrong now. Come on. Get out there and take a walk. I know I got to. That's why I like to keep... Everybody's like, are you a full-time artist? And I literally I got big announcement, guys. Big announcements. All right, since we're sort of running low on our comments here, let's see. Where were you, Timo? What was that comment again? Because I like that. I gave you a follow for it. Let's see. I'm going to name it. Where did it go? Timo, where are you, buddy? Into Tomorrow, right? That's a cool title. And then we're going to come back. But before I forget it, let's turn it around and sign it. And then we'll come back and finish to add the rocks and stuff. This one's $7.49, and it's titled Into Tomorrow, right? So we'll come over here. $7.49. Go over and search for $7.49 in my Etsy store. You'll be able to find this painting, right? Add the old signature. Look at my horrible penmanship right there. I'll title this one Into Tomorrow. How do you spell tomorrow? T-O-M-M-O-R-R-R-O-W, right? How do you guys spell tomorrow? I know how to spell it. Just you guys just tell me. How do you spell tomorrow? T-O-M, is it two M's? Now I'm confusing myself. No, it's two R's. T-O-M-O-R-R-O-W. Into Tomorrow. That's wicked cool. So remember, guys, go over to paintwithjosh.com, right? That's where you can find links to every other store and every other site. And just in case you're wondering where you can type into your web browser and find my store, right? Go to your Safari browser or your Google Play thing and type in paintwithjosh.etsy.com, right? Just like that. That's all we're going to sign them with. This one turned out fantastic. Let's flip it around. We got to finish the top and then add these rocks for our 420 follower who wanted to see some rocks crashing in onto the side, right? So let's come down here. Just hold it. Don't tighten it. Just hold it there. Just hold up. We're going to do the top here. Ooh, fell down. There we go. Bing, bang, boom. Just blend that top little section, crisscrossing back and forth, taking some of the dark side, pushing it over, blending some of the light side back. And that way you got a finished painting, top, bottom, and every which where. Whoop. There we go. Now we're going to come in and add those rocks. If you want to see some seaside crashing rocks, make sure you're tapping the screen. Make sure you give me a thumbs up if you're over on YouTube. Make sure you're doing all this stuff you got to do. And let's see. I almost want to finish the side over here just for the buyer. Just so we have some green water. Right, feeding it off. And then what's that little bit of purple over there? So let's switch to our blue and crimsony color with our white. Blue, crimsony, purpley color. Just for our water, right? And then taking it over here with our same low angles. Finishing the edges. This guy started coming down, so we're changing our angle going down. That way our wave is going to wrap around the side of the canvas and look very cool. Again, I'm going to soften it. Always going to soften it. all the way. That way when you're looking at it, you're going to see this color on the side of the canvas, and it's going to make you want to turn around and see what's on the front. As you're walking down the hallway, or if your grandma comes in to visit, and she's like, ooh, what's that on the edge there, dear? And then you go, oh, that's this painting I got. Come check it around the front. That's going to help, right? What's going on, Bailey?
I just wanted to see what you're doing.
Oh, I'm here. When are you guys going to the jumpy place?
I have no clue.
No clue. Good. That's good. At least we're not rushing, right? Now, in here, if we're going to add some rocks, I want to scrape away any bit of paint. I'm almost done, baby, and then we'll go get that donut I talked about, right? That's why you're here.
No.
Like, Dad, when are we going to get the donut?
Yeah.
Yeah, where's the donuts?
No, I just wanted to see how the painting was turning out.
Oh, thanks, babe. She's my biggest supporter, guys. Tell them the story about how you went and found Hammy and Olivia at the park. Somebody tag Hammy and Olivia right now, right? At Hammy and Olivia, Hammy and Olivia. They got like 5 million followers. How'd you see them? What happened to that? How did Dad become one of their? How are they following your dad?
So they live close to the park by my school, so they normally take Hammy and Olivia on walks. So and my friend knows them, so she was like, come on, come meet Hammy and Olivia, and I was like, okay, let's go, because I didn't know who they were.
Let's go.
And then...
Yeah, you're right. Who's Hammy and Olivia? That's what I would have said.
I've seen them before, but I never followed them. And then I remember I saw one of their videos, and I remember following them, so I was like, oh, yeah, I remember y'all.
Right.
And then, because, I remember when I had TikTok, like, my accounts would not follow, but I remember following them.
Right.
But they would just, like, not follow at all, so it didn't look like I was following them.
Oh, I got you. It just wouldn't register it.
No. But, and then, so I was like, it would be cool if my dad, like, if they were following my dad, so I asked, because they follow people that are following them.
Right.
So I was like, could you follow my dad? Like, my dad follows you. And he was like, yeah, what's his TikTok page?
It's so cool.
And then I called my dad and I was like, can you please follow them really fast, please?
Oh, I know. And I'm like, I'm Mr. Big Shot, Paint with Josh, right? Thinking I'm all that. And Bailey calls and she says, Dad, there's this person at the park. They're a verified creator. You got to follow them. You got to follow them. I said, I was like, Bailey, just have them type in Paint with Josh into their phone. It'll pull up my picture. They'll follow me. I'll follow them right back. I promise. She goes, Dad, they're a verified creator. Look at the thing. I type in the screen name. They have 5 million followers. I was like, oh my God. I went over and followed them immediately. And then they followed me back immediately. And they're really awesome. That guy that does it's his 2 dogs. He has editing skills like you just would not believe. Their videos are so awesome. And I'm sure it takes just days to make just one with the amount of editing that they're doing. It's just fantastic. Look, I slid a little bit of the darkness over. Now we're going to slide a little bit of the darkness back, bringing that light with it and having a little bit of shadow kind of tucked in behind there. Very cool. Just like that, right? You know what? Let's get crazy, too. So, yeah, they followed immediately, and now I'm trying to figure out, Bailey, wouldn't it be cool if we did a painting of like a tree branch, and then we took it over and we had Hammy and Olivia step in paint and then walk on the canvas, and it'd be like little tree paws. Wouldn't that be the neatest thing? I think that would be cool. I gotta message them and remind me later to message Hammy and Olivia and be like, I got this neat idea about what we could do, and it might look really neat if we did this, and then the puppies could walk on it. It'd be really neat. I know everybody would love it. They would just love it. So we're gonna come in here. You guys said add the rocks, and when we get going with rocks, I get going with rocks, right? I love having a lot of depth and distance in the paintings. So even though we came up here, let's pop out a little bit of jagged area, right? And then our rocks are gonna wrap around and come around here, around the whole shore. All right, so thank you to the person that said add the rocks, because now the painting is gonna look even better than it did before with more depth and more distance and more detail. And again, it's only 210 bucks, guys. If you go over to my Etsy store right now and purchase it before we get finished, and before we have a chance to put it anywhere, I'm gonna have to redo my signature because we're gonna cover it up with all these rocks right here. But it is available for sale if you go over and search for number 747 in my shop. So get over to paintwithjosh.com, pull up the search bar at the top, type 747 or type in the word TikTok, and you'll be able to see what it looks like. Now we're coming up on a 2-hour show on a 16 by 20 inch canvas. That cannot happen. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to mix down. We're going to cover over the signature. I have to come back and do it again. We've done a lot of chit-chatting and talking today. I hope you guys have enjoyed all the tips and all the help. And I just can't believe we've spent 2 hours on this little tiny canvas. So, again, that's another selling point, right? Josh took a long time on this canvas. It's a very cool video that you'll be able to go back and watch in the future, right? Come back in here, leaving a dark separation in between our bits of light area. And that way we'll have these little things, a little bit of darkness back there. Starts coming in. A lot of darkness up in the front too, right? Wherever you put a little piece of light, make sure there's a little bit of dark back behind it. And just very messily come in there, leaving bits that light up, bits that connect, bits that don't connect. And all of a sudden, with our little poles, little different directions, right? We decide what we want this little rock to look like. Hey, what do we want to have show into the light? What do we want to have stay deep down into the darkness? What if there's a little flat ledge over here where the birds come down and they wait for the little sea turtles to come out and start to cross and try to get across to get into the surf? And this is where they watch and they get on them, right? Go grab them up, a little flat area for them to sit on back here. That's literally all you need. Take your little bit of paint, drag our little bit of brightness, just so small. Leaving a lot of dark room, a lot of dark areas, right? And then you can decide what you want your little rocks to look like. Just like that, got a wicked cool little painting. Love this one already, guys. So, remember, last time, it's available for sale. Go to paintwithjosh.etsy.com. We're gonna end the stream over here. I'm going to probably go get some paint thinner, maybe some new canvases. Maybe not. Maybe I'm going to wait. I'm going to make you guys buy one before I get new canvases. So if you want me to come back, I need a sale in order to be able to go get some new materials to come back and paint again, right? So it doesn't have to be this. Go buy a hat. Go buy a shirt. We got brand new shirts. Got the 3 Ps shirts, which I showed last night on the show. They're very cool. Don't even think I have one in here. Do I? Got the 3 Ps shirts. We got leggings. We got all sorts of stuff. There's the leggings, guys. Oh, yes. Look at these Paint with Josh yoga leggings just on one side, right? So you got just the left side booty is going to be looking good when you're at your yoga class. And I guarantee no one else in the class has these Paint with Josh yoga pants, right? So get over to paintwithjosh.com, paintwithjosh.etsy.com, and make your purchases today. We got to go back and sign this thing again, and then we're getting out of here. Going to go take a break. We're going to come back later and do another painting. So be there or be square, right? This is probably one of the longest Saturday shows we ever did. Just like this. A little bit of our brightness. Doesn't even want to come off the brush. That means it's too thick, right? Always means it's too thick. Here we go. Doesn't come off the brush easily. Don't try to push harder. You're not going to enjoy what happens when you push harder. Add a little bit of liquid white or add a little bit of thinner to thin the paint down. So it comes off your brush more like a pen, more easily. Look like that, just like that. Bingo, bango. You guys are awesome. Remember, go to paintwithjosh.etsy.com. Show your support. Support real artists. Don't go buy your art from Walmart or wherever. Support somebody real who really cares if you buy it, right? And that's me. Just because we got almost 700,000 followers doesn't mean I don't still need sales, right? And I appreciate it more than anyone else. I'm literally doing this as a living. I told my work, all right, we had big news. I told you earlier, I told my work that I'm reducing my own hours and I need to cut back, and I'm going to be doing art more full time, right? So I'm literally only going to work on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at my real job for like 6 hours a day, and then I'll be back. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights, we're going to start the show earlier. We're going to rock and roll. And then on Monday and Fridays, we can paint all day long. We can paint. We can go live on Instagram more. We can change the things. We can go live on Facebook, everywhere. And it's all in different time zones, right? So people that can't watch us late at night might be able to watch me during the day. And now that I'm literally a full-time professional artist, right? I'm claiming it. I'm a see what full-time artists do? They get paint all over the handles of their brush, and then they look terrible. Maybe this isn't the best time to reveal that I'm a full-time artist. That would be, it's just kind of funny. So, in any case, we're going to have to get rid of this glove anyway. But yeah, I love you guys. I can't wait to see you on the next one. So go over to TikTok and go over to YouTube and subscribe over there. I'm going to do shows all day long over on TikTok and YouTube. So can't wait to see you guys. And if you can't watch them live, you can always watch them later on. And all the people that are watching on TikTok, go over to my YouTube. You'll be able to rewatch this one along with all the other ones today. And it's going to be fantastic. And on YouTube, they're big and it's landscape so you can watch it on a big TV. Looks great. So, can't wait to see you guys later. I gotta go take a drink, sit down. Man, it's been a 2-hour show. You guys look fantastic. This looked fantastic. Go buy it. We named it. It was fantastic. I say fantastic a lot. And until we see you guys again next time, take care. Have the rest of a good day. And pow. And again, TikTok, we'll be back later. So follow me on TikTok if you want to come back. I'll come back and do a show.